Hello, hello, and welcome to the Apex Legends Global Series Championship for Europe. Just as a reminder, this is live on YouTube and will be on a 5-minute delay. So once things pop up on your end, it will be on a 5-minute delay as we are going to be capturing all of the action, live, and so we want to keep competitive integrity. Again, when this is live, for all of you guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, show your support. I'm really excited for today. Today's going to be a whole lot of fun. So we'll get started in just a moment. Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome. We're going to begin here in just about, give or take 3 or 4 minutes. Again, this is on a 5-minute delay, so once you see this live on YouTube, it will be delayed just for competitive integrity's sake. I'm excited. This is going to be a whole lot of fun, guys. We're going to be casting again for Group C, V versus D. And of course, we're going to be capturing this for day 1, 2, and 3. So I hope all of you guys are excited. There's a lot of great teams. A lot of great teams are going to be playing today. And everyone at this mark is really fighting for that main stage for the finals. So be sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment, because we got a lot here in store for all of you guys. All right, everybody, we're about to begin here again in just a hot second. If you're just tuning in, this is going to be live streamed on YouTube. This is for Apex Legends Global Series Championship. So if all of you guys are really excited to be a part, we look forward to casting for all of you guys in just a moment. Just as a reminder, the stream is on a 5-minute delay and we'll begin here in just a moment. This is live streamed on YouTube, but afterwards I'll be sure to timestamp the VOD for all of you guys. I'm excited. We're about to get started here in just a moment, and whenever we do, we'll be underway and we'll talk about everything that's happening on stream, everything that's going on. All right, everybody, in just a moment, we're going to switch over to the main feed here, and we'll be sure to get into the lobby in just a moment. Excited for all of you guys to be a part, and whenever we do hop in, we'll be sure to break everything down. We got Apex Legends Global Series Championship for today, and we're going to be doing Day 1 Group C versus Group D. All right, everyone, let's get underway. Let's do this. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Welcome. Just want to say hi to everybody. Welcome everyone to the stream and welcome everyone here. In just a moment, we will begin and we'll get everything situated and underway. Just give me 2 seconds to do some house cleaning items and get things all situated. Individuals are probably piling into the lobby as we speak, and we're just going to hop in just a moment. All right, let's just get everyone here and welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everyone's excited. I know I'm excited. This is a whole different time of day for me, actually being able to cast during the day. So that's kind of strange. It's a little different, but in a good way. In a good way. Let me just change this real quick and update this. Okay, so the lobby is going to get started, is starting up, and once we get the code to hop in, we'll be sure to hop in and talk about everything that's going on. Okay, now that we're situated, we will be going into game 1. There's going to be 6 games today. Let's talk about the teams that are all going to participate. So we have FB, 789, Alliance, Aqualix, Dead Inside, DNMK, Fire Beavers, Insider, Kick, Morningstar, Maestro, Mistro, sorry for mispronouncing that, NCD, Scars, Solo Q Goats, Succubus, T-Rex, HLDC, Third Impact, Top Dogs, and Underrated. So let's segue over, let's hop into that lobby, and let's talk about this breakdown. So you're going to see a black screen for just a second, and then boom, there we go, we're all set. And let's hop in, ladies and gentlemen. So you got an exciting lineup. So all the teams that are here at this caliber and level, there is very much should be proud of their hard work in getting here. I see a lot of big names. I see TSM Dolphin. I see Shiv. Shiv is going to be competing for today. So that's a pretty big day ahead of us. Let me just make sure to turn up the volume once we're in here. Now, the interesting thing that we've seen along with like APAC North and other regions so far is that we saw Valkyrie finally in play. I know Alliance prior tournaments has run Revenant Octane, but now Octane is definitely a lot more meta than before. And so that leaves the question, because they had performed extremely well with the Revenant Octane meta. It's probably the only team that have really succeeded doing it comparatively to other teams. So what to see? Which region is this? This is Europe. Oh, you saw the thumbnail. Good to have you here. Almonds, good to have you. Great to have you. Daniel, Blander, Sleepy Cat, welcome everyone. I know, again, a 5-minute delay, but nonetheless, we'll be getting started here in just a moment. So this is going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to be casting. Hopefully, you guys are going to learn a whole lot from everything that you guys see. And that's really the goal. Again, if you guys have questions how competitive esports works and everything, this is the moment to really ask, where we can really engage. So the format for the whole championship series and how this is all going to work is you have multiple days. Every day is going to add up accumulatively all of the points. So each team really is fighting against everyone in the lobby, but also fighting for every single place and point. And just like APAC North, we saw the difference between like even a few kills, eliminations, make the difference between teams that are advancing. So we're going to be taking the top 20 teams to compete over on the group stage. So which is going to be huge. That's definitely huge to see teams of that caliber playing. And everyone in this lobby, just to really highlight, is extremely skilled. There's a lot of names I recognize in here. Like I know Taishin, RPR, Mande. The Scars Europe is an extremely talented roster. Shiv with his crew, curious if they're going to run Bangalore or what comp they're going to run. Alliance is a great roster. We've seen 789 with a lot of history on Apex, starting from the very beginning. I've seen Third Impact really make an impact, no pun intended. And I've really seen as well NCD really do well. They know how to rotate. I mean, they have the coach over from TSM, so they really know what they're doing. And I've seen Boss as well. But these are all talented individuals and talented players. So hope all of you guys are excited, because we're going to be casting it here. We're going to do play-by-play. And just how you're curious how I usually like to cast is we're going to really stick to see who's on top, who's really performing well, because that's where you're going to see all the action, all the kills. We do our best not to switch camera POVs. We're going to turn highlights on so you can see what's going on as if you're from the POV of the player, but also see through a little bit of the walls to ensure that you can kind of see where action is going to be taking place. I want to be sure all of you guys capture from the first, or from first person POV what exactly is going on. Blacksmith, 5-minute delay. When can we play Daz? I started playing Apex again. I'm almost done. Very nice, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a 5-minute delay just as, because I'm going to be following everyone competitively here, and we just got to make sure, because, I mean, a lot of people are watching, a lot of people are going to be watching this. I know, like, Shiv is live, and he's got a delay on. I mean, every little minute and second counts, and so it's huge. Hey, Riss. Good to have you here. Good to have you. Just want to say welcome to everybody. All right, so the curious part is, what are we going to see? What are we going to see in terms of comp? Are we going to see Octane? What are we going to see? I'm going to place a bet that we're going to see probably around 3 or 4 Octane comp groups. I know already 2 that were already running in before, and I guarantee more are going to jump on the bandwagon. I think we'll probably see 1 or 2 Valkyries. I do not think we'll see Watson as much as I want to see Watson. And to make, yeah, I did shave, but it grows back pretty fast. Don't worry. But yeah, we'll see what comps decide to showcase himself, and we'll talk about the breakdown of everything that takes place. And this is earlier in the day for me, so I get to have a lot more fun. And we just got done casting APAC North, which is Asia Pacific, I was casting at 5 in the morning. I had yesterday to kind of recoup, so I'm back here Tuesday for what we're covering. We're going to be covering day 1, 2, and 3, and I'll be sure to put in the community tab when Apex Legends, like the official cast, is going live, leading up to all of it. So these are the stepping stones of everything that you're seeing leading up to the main broadcast. So hopefully you guys are excited for all of that. But I got all my controls on the left. And yeah. You know what's crazy? This is the first time you saw a face. It was good to have you here, man. Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I'm really good. I'm going to start early. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Very, very exciting. Going to start early. Let's do it. All right. Thank you, Lewis. Well, today's going to be very different. We'll do our best to capture the action, but it's after around 2 rounds, you'll start to get a feel and consistency of everything that's happening. And don't worry, I'll turn off the music. I'll make sure in-game is extra loud. I know how the feedback is always hearing the in-game volume, so we'll be sure we capture that. We'll be sure to try to capture as much as the action as possible. The hardest part we always find is capturing the first fight that breaks it. A lot of teams are rotating, and everyone is trying just to get their groove and get their feels for what's happening. And so you can kind of get some stumbles that are a little unpredictable because everyone is still like, okay, where do you land? Where do you rotate? By around game 4 or 5 is whenever things kind of flesh out the same way, and in a positive way where pros can really predict what's happening. So first game, you might see teams play a little safer, but it doesn't mean there's not action going on. Okay. So what you're seeing here is everyone's picking their legends, and so far it looks like we already have an Octane from Team 14, which is Solo Q Goats, which is Shiv's roster. We're of course going to see a lot of Wraith, a lot of Gibraltar. That's only natural. I want to see what Alliance picks here. They're running Bloodhound, okay. Not running the Octane Revenant meta that they did before. We're seeing Loba. That's interesting. A Loba and Team 7. And we have a Revenant with Team 20. So this is some interesting compositions that we're seeing. A lot of Valkyries, a lot of variety. Especially for Europe. It's exciting to see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see here. Let's turn on the highlights so you can see it. Let's pause that music. And let's start to break this down. So let's follow Team 14 initially here. You know, everyone's always a big fan of Shiv. And then we'll switch over to Alliance and see where they're landing. We're going to try our best to capture where the first 50-50 fight, if it is available, where teams are going to fight. And I'll be sure to let you guys know who the kill leader is. And of course, we got this nice little kill leader breakdown here as well for you guys to really understand what's happening. Okay, so it looks like they're taking Skyhook on the left side. I wonder if anybody's going to split Trials. They have the possibility to split Trials. We do have Aqualix, who's landing in the center here around Fragment. Fragment can tend to be a little hot. And we do have the beacon hit a little early. This is a common place to hit the beacon. Usually sometimes you see the Bloodhound hit here by throwing a Gibraltar bubble so they don't get shot from a distance. Let's see if there were any 50-50s. So at the start, everyone is kind of landing. And we might have one breakout here against Morning Stars as well as Team HLCD. So they're pretty close to one another. Pretty similar compositions from what you saw. And it looks like Morning Star is aware of their presence, but definitely already... We got this person has already fallen. That's not good. I'm not sure how somebody already fell off the edge. Maybe it's early bait. We don't quite know. But like I said, here's an early fight that's already breaking out. They're throwing the nades just to kind of show some presence and some dominance. And here's some longbow shots coming from a distance over here. We got Longbow Larry. Yeah, I do love me a good longbow. Longbows are always pretty solid, always enjoyable to see. Especially being a sniper from the Battlefield franchise, moving over and enjoying a lot of Apex. Got a 2x on this, and once they get some entry damage, they might make a push. If we see any other damage take place anywhere else, so be sure to switch POV. But right now, this is the most damage that's been dealt in the lobby. And right now, pros are just kind of going through the normal rotation. We might have it. We're going to see probably a lot of action breakout around the Skyhook side specifically. I am predicting that mostly because we have teams pretty close by and they have to rotate. But the minute we see any sort of rotation, anything that's really happening, we'll be sure to take a look. So it looks like NCD had the early fall. Unfortunately, we were able to miss it. I wonder what happened to him. How did he manage to fall through? Let's take a look where his banner's at. Looks like he fell off the side of the map. Maybe he lagged out. We're not quite sure. We do not have the information of what really happened there. But we'll be sure to capture it the minute everything takes place. So we do have Trials doing some little bit of early action here. Everyone is rotating. There's a lot of movement on the map right now. As you can tell, teams are getting really tight. And right now we have 1 minute and 13 seconds until the first zone closes. Aqualix is already trying to hard gate the angle here. They haven't really moved from the spot. They got lucky with the rotation, knowing they haven't really moved very far from the fragment side. So there's not too much to worry about there. And I'm pulling up the map. I'll pull it up less. I just want you guys to really understand where teams are playing. And what happens a lot in tournaments is you have the teams who play edge and go into fights. And here's the bird's eye view right in the sky. We do have a team rotating on, and there's a crypto drone. Crypto is very viable. Oh, there we go. We got a team flying up in the air, but they do have a caustic in play to hard hold that building. So right now we do not have any kill leaders of the lobby. Everyone is rotating for their spot. We'll take a look at the crypto drone, giving us eyes in this very congested spot. It's like living in New York City. Everyone's stacked up on top of each other. And we do have the crypto drone going out for over 1,000 damage because of the amount of people in this tight spot. We'll switch over to this POV and see third impact. Took a lot of damage, but mostly it's from the crypto drone, and they're just recovering and healing from it. So a lot of Valkyrie teams kind of flew into their positions in their spot as soon as possible, which is the beauty of running a Valkyrie. It's where I've seen a lot of teams that tend to edge or need to rotate as soon as possible. And here's a potential fight right now that DNMK is running for dear life at the moment. They did provide a scan just to kind of give a little bit of an ego there to push back and say, hey, we know where you're at. We know you're fighting. The potential first wipe of the lobby. There's still 59 participants in the lobby, and the zone is already closing. Already closing. So they are feeling that pressure. Now, do not worry. You're not missing a lot here. A lot of the rotations and fights are going to happen on the outskirts here. That's where a lot of the action always takes place. The reason why you do not want to fight when you're in the center of the zone is that the minute there's a knock, everyone third parties, and it becomes a nightmare. The downside, though, is that when the zone pulls, there's gonna see way too many fights breaking out, and as the rounds keep going, we're gonna focus on who has the most kill points in the lobby and who we should be focusing on. That's gonna become a lot more telling as the narrative makes a lot more sense. So even at the moment, again, there is no Watsons in play, but we have Valkyrie, we have Octane, we have Gibraltar, Wraith, seeing some Revenant even, and Loba. So let's take a look at that Loba roster and see how they're handling their rotation. So they're holding the outskirt edge, but I do not believe that it's going to end here. But they're definitely capitalizing on the fact that Loba... This is the second team that I've seen run it. And if this team performs well, we could see a meta shift. I mentioned APAC North. They didn't even do exactly bad with a Loba. Loba definitely provides a lot of resources for the team, and she also has her own way of rotating without having to get caught out in the open. So it's interesting to see how much she is in play. And right now, again, let's try to predict where the first fight is going to take place. We might have one break out here. Some initial damage may take place. Let's see if we capture some of this initial damage. It may happen, it may not. They're definitely peeking. They're putting feelers out. And if they do and they full send this, they might get third party from a team in the back. Everyone who hears these shots, because it's such a close proximity, they're holding, making sure they don't get pushed in an angle. Oh, got to be careful not to get hit by the thermite. He does get hit by a longbow. Of course, the team may not push on that. Oh, actually, they might be aware that he's isolated. If they're aware that he's isolated, and there we go, misses the shot, unfortunately, with the longbow. It was a very quick reaction time. It's just popping up right on the screen. He's going for the ego push here. Gets hit for 106 damage, which screams we might be able to push this. So Succubus might make a play, may not, depending on the angle they get on this spot. So they decide not to push, just because they're a little bit nervous. They do have their drone up, and I'm going to show you this POV. He has a drone up like a CCTV camera put on the angle here. And it's just so they can capture anybody who essentially runs in. It's just a nice angle there. So let's take a look. So Shiv's roster decided to push Refiner. So those solo Q goals. This is Diff Q, Zepith as well. Let's take a look at their POV and the guns they're running. They got an R3, a 1, EVA 8, which is an infamous loadout to say the least. They do have a long rotation, and they may run into Scars here, which is Scars Europe. This is a great roster, RPR, Taishin, and Mande. They definitely perform really well, and you can tell that they do see them from a distance. You can expect that they're going to have to hard gate that roster. So unfortunately, NCD is down one player at the moment, and they're going to see if they can gate or if they're going to need to rotate. A lot of teams are right now rotating, finding their spots and finding their angles, but this is going to become an absolute cluster in just a moment. This is a hard part whenever everyone is playing this so intelligently, is that you're going to see everyone just get into a massive firefight immediately before you know it. Before you know it, everything just kind of flies off the handle, and there's like 6 different teams all fighting at once. And we do have a Remnant push here going in, but there is the gas. They do break their door. They're silencing them, and they're trying to do as much damage as possible. Let's take a look at the Octane. He's going to roll up with an EVA 8. Let's see how much damage he can get. Unfortunately, was not able to... Did he get a knock? Yes, he did, which screams for damage to be pushed here. No, he did not get a knock, so he's trying to reposition. The gas is making a pretty big play here and running out of time, and they do get pushed back, and now they reset. Let's take a look at a different POV here. I believe we did see one knock as well. Let's take a look where that's taking place.
Let's go this way.
Anybody who is down, it looks like it's just NCD. So no knocks, everything is all good. I did see them do a lot of damage. Almost like they managed to get a knock there. If we happen to see any fights break out, we're going to be sure to capture it. And here's some shots at a distance. I'm looking at the Wraith POV. I want to see how they're going to come in and respond to this. The Wraith is always going to be the entry fragger of the group, so they definitely have the Wraith to see if what she can do essentially here. See some of the action. But it looks like everything is going to be kind of hunky-dory. Everything is fine here. But it's okay. As teams rotate, things are about to get very, very close. Very close. Boss guys, great to have you here. Welcome everyone here. Appreciate all of you guys. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying anything that you see. I'm excited to have all of you guys be a part. So we do have some G7 shots taking place here. Almost a knock. They're responding to DNMK here. Giving him a Phoenix to recover. Ooh, he popped out there. If you met... Realistically, he does need to heal if he gets knocked. I don't think that they're going to push him, but he's trying to get as much damage here. Connects a little bit, just 29 damage, but there is a potential fight from Alliance. Let's take a look at their POV, and they're hard gating them here. They got 30 seconds to make a decision, and the decision is to fly out. So let's take a look where are they going to go? Where are they going to fly to? And where is there even spacing for them to fly to? So believe it or not, once real estate space gets pretty tight and pretty close, we're not going to see a whole lot of space. There's an open field on the north side, and let's take a look at Shiv's team. It looks like they managed to get eyeballs here on a roster. We have 2 seconds before the zone closes, and we're probably going to see multiple fights break out, But, you know, this is probably one of the few times I've ever seen Bangalore as well placed in ALGS. I mentioned this in terms of tier list. You should never really worry about the meta. You should always worry about the player that's behind the character, and Shiv has proven time and time again that he knows what he's doing whenever he is Bangalore. I would say the only downside is that if he's the only Bangalore in the lobby, that a team would be fully aware of what composition that they're running into, which is probably one of the hardest things. Oh, and this team is deciding to rotate here. Let's see how they're going to respond. Kick here. Getting a kick in the rear. No pun intended here. Is getting shot at, and they got to find their rotation in. There's going to be a lot of fights that are about to break out. Let's see who's the current kill leader. Who's the most damage? And here it is. D and MK did manage to rotate in. This is the most damage that's been done in the lobby right now. But as you can tell, there's a lot of firefights that are constantly happening. And once this zone closes and the pressure is on, it's only going to get worse from here. It's only going to get even harder for everyone. It's only going to get tighter in space. I always use a reference and analogy. It's like living in New York City. Oh, kick, making a rotation underneath here. They do have the low ground. And look at the beautiful wall bounce from Denze. Got to enjoy a nice wall bounce. He did get the intel from his drone. Scars is right above them, and they have the low ground right down below. So let's take a look at, again, DNMK, who's got the most damage in the lobby with 170 here. Gets 22, adding a little bit more to his ranking damage. They do have all blue, so they do need to level up their armors. And they're going for that hit of the beacon. And like I mentioned, the bubble is there for defense. And they're going to give us the intel where the zone is closing. And this is going to be a tough zone, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a tough zone. This is not going to be easy. This is a lot of open space. And yeah, I mean, Shiv's team, Solo Q Goats, has a pretty nice angle with Diff rotating here for some intel, what's in and what's not. They really have the rock here, and they do have height, so they have essentially the high ground. They're essentially the Obi-Wan Kenobis of the lobby, and everyone else is an Anakin. It's a great reference and a great analogy in the situation that they're in. As long as they hold and they don't push, it's going to be pretty good. We do have Dead inside, feeling quite alive as they rotate. They're unaware of the team that's on the left of them. Let's see if they manage to get caught out. They took a shot, and here we go. You see the team that's rotating on the left with the highlights there. They do hear them. Now, let's pose the question. Are they going to engage on this? Are they going to contest? What are they going to do? There's only 50 seconds on the clock. There is a lot of pressure here to rotate. They know there's not a whole lot of space. Who are they going to push out? Who are they going to push out? And here's our first fight from Insiders, getting us the inside intel. Got 25 damage. Looks like Flush. They have the high ground. It's over. Anakin may be a slow learner down below, but do they have enough talent? Do they have the potential to push us out? We'll take a look here, and there's a little bit of a spray. You can tell that the lobby's still filling out. A little bit of nerves going on here. Everyone's still warming up. It's the first game of the day. It's understandable. Guarantee everyone queued up for a bit of ranked Masters and Pred lobbies, but, you know, we're in the situation here where we're about to feel the pinch from everyone. The pinch is about to occur from every which angle, so that roster looks like they're good. We're going to keep an eye on this because they have to push in to Insiders. If they rotate the other angle, which is what it looks like they're trying to do, here's the push up. There's the port, and they're going to go for try to go for as clean of a 3v3 as possible here. The climb is definitely hard, and there's going to be other fights breaking out. There's only so much that we can see, and here's a rotation over with a Spitfire, spraying and praying as much as he can. The fight is not clean. They're going to get rotated on. Insiders is now aware they're about to get third-partied. Everything we mentioned and feared. Is their Valkyrie going to run? Is she going to pop her ult? Are they aware that they're still there? We do have another fight breaking out here from Succubus holding the angle. The crypto ult is there. People are burning. It's KFC up in the lobby right now. Nothing but Kentucky Fried Chicken. Everyone is frying. Everyone making everyone hungry here. They rotate here with the Mastiff. Can he make a play? Unfortunately, cannot. There is the Eva slapping. He's whiffing, but does connect one of his shots and goes for the cleanup. We have Krype, or KRYP, going for the nice cleanup there. They do have time to rotate. Let's take a look at the north side here. We do have FB did get one knock. Let's switch over to the POV from Fire Beavers that are holding it here. Keeping things hot and toasty. And this is a Loba team, by the way. They do have a Kraber. Can they put a show on for you guys, ladies and gentlemen? Can we see the Kraber make a massive play? The thing that every pro player fears. Literally the game changer the game breaker, the game opener. We do have Aqualix that looks like they located the roster from there. They do have to rotate. They got a mid-in. Let's see if the Kraber misses, unfortunately. Tries to go for it. Hits the wall. And there's the Loba ult to see if we can get a different gun, perhaps, in the long rotation here. Let's see if we can manage to connect a Kraber shot. Taskmaster, is he up for the task? Can he give us the Kraber shot for play for the day? We haven't seen a full squad wipe, but let me tell you, there's been a lot of individuals getting eliminated from the lobby thus far. We'll switch over to POV the minute we see a little bit more damage put out. We have a Crypto in the sky here. Let's switch over back to the Loba POV that we were looking at. We do have a knock going on here, and they're on height, and they're getting picked on from everyone. They were shot from maybe 16 different teams there, it felt like. The poor team there taking height and just being absolute bullied. It felt like their only play was to stay up there. If they jumped down, they were fighting fire beavers. If they stayed, well, they get to get shot from everyone in the lobby. Scars has a really beautiful spot here, taking some shots with a longbow, taking some action, taking some peeks. We do have FB that's rotating on the north side at the moment, trying to rotate, making sure they can find their angles and find their spots. We'll be sure. Let's take a look at where the teams in the center that are holding. 789 has a nice spot, as well as Underrated is just kind of chilling and vibing right now. They're pretty comfortable. Let's switch over here to Alliance that's getting into a pretty decent fight. They're trying to pick for their angles and trying to find their spot. And there is the Valkyrie trying to make a play, flying up right into the air. Let's take a look here where teams are deciding to rotate to. A lot of fights are breaking out, ladies and gentlemen, non-stop fights, and this is everything that we feared, especially as a caster, having to deal with every fight that's breaking out. They have to rotate in. They're taking their shots. They're connecting the R301 shots here. But is it going to be enough for the cleanup? He gets shot from different angles, runs right in with a Mastiff, and cleans that up. There was a solid few kills there. Let's take a look who the current kill leader is. Succubus is definitely clearing up the lobby, but currently a team of 2. But they do have 4 kills to their name. If we look, Alliance also has quite a few kills under the radar as well. They're looking at a total of 3. Meanwhile, like we said, Succubus is definitely piling up their kills. And we'll see where teams decide to break out. They're right underneath them. Taishin's roster is right underneath. Or excuse me, Fire Beavers. This is the Loba. Look at them. They got a nice gold armor. And things are about to get really tight. Let's take a look at Shiv's POV here. They're getting back in the action. They have one of the hardest rotations to get in at the moment. Solo cute goats. The goats, are they goated enough to really pop in, though? There is no space. Essentially, what they need to do is make a hard push. And they only have 30 seconds to make a decision. 30 seconds. Not a whole lot of time on the clock for that. They got limited time. They need to make a choice. We're keeping an eye on them because look at the rosters. They're one of the teams that have the hardest rotation in. And I'm curious because they're literally on the outskirts, meaning that they have to make a push. The same thing with Alliance. So we'll keep a close eye on Solo Q Goats as well as Alliance. And Alliance is opting to make a portal play. As you can tell, their Wraith unfortunately got absolutely melted and is coming back to heal, and they got a few seconds. Let's take a look at Solo Q Goats, and there's the Bangalore ult potentially going to be thrown out to find some angles and find some positioning. So we have 2 rosters that have an extremely hard rotation in, which we're going to keep an eye on. So these 2 teams, opposite spectrums, they find some space with the bubble. Let's see if Solo Q Goats is able to do the same. And here they are. There's multiple teams fighting out in the open, and because they waited a little bit more, they found their footing here, and they got free pickings if they decide to push in. Are they going to push in, or are they going to wait? Let's take a look. It looks like Alliance is getting into a massive firefight here. There's the EVA 8. They're waiting for the bubble play. There's the Arc Star to go out to try to compensate for a bit of the damage. And that's going to take down their bubble. And immediately when it does, and there's the EVA 8 shots. Unfortunately, Alliance does go out. Let's take a look at the Solo Q Goats. They have open area here. I'm not sure why nobody has taken a look and a gander at them. We only have 4 squads left in the lobby. This is our new kill leader, Sir Dell. We went immediately from 11 squads down to 4. An absolute mess of a firefight. And here it comes. One of the first squads rolling in. This is definitely Solo Q Ghosts. Let's take a switch of their POV as they mop this up. We now have a potential full squad, and there's a smokes out, and gets hit by the Kraber by Taskmaster. Shiv is down. How are they going to reciprocate this? This is from the Loba roster, the Loba team. Are we going to see a Loba team come out on top? And we do. Fire Beaver takes first round, ladies and gentlemen. The first round has gone to the Loba, and it's very fitting because we have the Loba soundtrack already playing. pretty crazy already happening. Pretty crazy. Leave a like if you're enjoying what you're seeing. We have the first team. We're going to keep a close eye on this squad because this is the first game of the day. They're going to have a lot of points to their name, and we'll see how everything shakes up. Let's switch POVs. Let's go to game 2. When the scores are updated, we'll be sure to break everything down. That Kraber shot came at the worst moment for solo queue goats. They had almost a clean fight there, and they could have recovered. So once this gets updated here, we'll be sure to take a look at the teams. Fire Beavers came in with 12 plus 7 plus 3. That's a total of 25 points going into game 1. We need to keep an eye on this squad, ladies and gentlemen. This is a squad that's definitely already popping off this early on, getting this amount of kills in first place. That's definitely going to shoot them up high on the leaderboards. All right, so once we get our next code here, we'll be sure to hop in and we'll be sure to break everything down for all of you guys. So great first round. And once those scores are updated, it's interesting. This is, again, if Loba manages to make that big of a play, we're going to see consistently how teams are going to shape up with everything. It's going to be a very consistent thing. It's going to be very interesting if teams will decide to change their composition in honor of the fact that we see Loba, one of the most unique legends currently in comp right now, as well as Bangalore. The fact that we have such a nice, diverse roster of legends makes it just that more interesting to cast and commentate on. So we had, it's interesting, when we looked at there, we had 2 teams that had the hardest rotations, right? 2 of the hardest rotations in the game rotating. We had Alliance on the south side, we have Solo Cute Goats on the north side, and we had the team over on the far left really play patiently. So the Fire Beavers really waited for the most opportune moment, and once they saw the last 2 teams fight, it was opportunity to push in. So they capitalized heavily on this. So now that we're kind of getting a feel of the teams and rosters that are really starting to pop off, we got to keep a close eye on them. Usually when a team builds this type of momentum, they start to run away with it in the lobby. So we'll kind of see where that starts to take place. All right, so we're going to go into game 2 here in just a moment. And once that scoreboard is updated, once we have the next code, we'll be sure to hop right in. And we'll be sure to capture all that action. So I think usually what happens, and this is technically the first round of the tournament for Europe. So what you're watching is EMEA, which is Europe. When you're watching Europe, this is the first round. When we saw APAC North, everyone ran it safe. Everyone here for Europe is running it not as safe. They're definitely running a more diverse group of legends and characters currently on the scoreboard. We're the defensive legends that we're seeing. Gibraltar has a heavy presence already in comp. This is understood. That makes sense. It's understandable. But seeing even though Caustic make a play, that Revenant push was 100% negated from the fact that Caustic actually existed in the lobby. If he wasn't there, that might have been a decently sized push. It could have been. It could have been. So we'll kind of see where that decides to take us and how things are going to continue to shape up. Exactly. And we did see it in chat. So the question is, are we going to see more Revenant? Is Alliance going to switch to Revenant? They've done it before, and it's really worked out. And I mentioned this many times, that if you see if I can change the commands. Let me. I might change one of them for you guys, just so it's a little clearer. 1 second here. I'll put a command, so it makes a lot more sense. So no EMEA, most people may not know. I'll update it there. So whenever it mentions the 5-minute delay, we'll be sure to engage with all of you guys as well. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying anything that you see. I know as a starting point, this is always interesting for it's a different time zone, to say the least. So usually, we're streaming at 5 in the morning, but this time we're that command should update in just a moment. Whenever it does, we'll be good to go. So right now, what's happening in the back end is players are hopping into the lobby. Once we're able to, we'll get the code and we'll hop in. We'll see what compositions are going to change up. We'll have the main screen there present for all of us. And then we're going to hop right back into everything that's taking place. And of course, we'll break down the scoreboard. I'll put the Liquipedia where it's also being updated for you guys to check out. Let's see here. But interesting game. You know, while Fire Beavers definitely had a very big presence, there wasn't necessarily just one team that kind of took everything away. And sometimes that happens in the first round, a team that just has the ultimate positioning, the ultimate height. Like, I know Shiv's team definitely had a nice opportunity to really push. And there's the code. I'll be sure to hop in. We'll go into the next round here. All right. Switch over to game 2. So we're going into game 2, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2. So as we see teams, hopefully Team 11, and we'll be sure to pull this all up for you guys. Let me pull up my little controls and my little notes, because I got my notes as well on everything that's taking place. Hopefully we do not see another disconnect. I know they're probably having some PC issues from T11. I did see Dolphin tweet out of potential issues when it came to the computer and everything, which is very unfortunate to have to run into, especially of a tournament of this caliber, when there's definitely a lot on the line, a lot that can take place. And once that scoreboard is updated, we'll break it down as well. So we do know that the team that's in first place right now is Fire Beavers. Yeah, I'll just make sure adding up the scores in my head. Which region is this? This is Europe. Europe. I'll be sure to actually, for the next stream, I'll be sure to add it up into the title. I know it's in the thumbnail. It shows up in the thumbnail for those that are looking at it as well. I'll add Europe into the title just so it makes it a little bit more clear. Or a little clearer. Let's see here. Am I going to be able to update that on the fly? I may not be able to. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to. But nonetheless, whenever this VOD ends, we'll be sure to update that. Okay, looks like they managed to get him back, so that's good. So we're going into game 2. All right. Unfortunately, looks like Badoli had a crash, unfortunately, halfway through the dropship. Hopefully that doesn't happen again from him, but it seems like it's a bigger issue in terms of his computer. So we'll see if he manages to get into the next round. All right, ladies and gentlemen, going into the next round, game 2. Game 2, we'll see if anybody decides to change up their comp, if they're going to go for some early fights. We saw a lot of the fights really break out at the end, or towards the end, especially around towards the end of zone 2, 3, and then things became a cluster. But once things really broke out, it was just, at that point, it just kind of became nonstop. It just was instant action. The zone was in a really difficult spot. There was a lot of open ground. The only big stay spot of that zone was on the south side. And so teams really were fighting for that south side because there just wasn't any space on the north side. We'll take a look. Give a shout out to everyone in chat. Leave a like or let us know who you're rooting for in the chat, by the way. Who are you guys rooting for? But I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Amogus, Sir Faryad, good to have you here. Cheeseburger Live, great to have you as well. Welcome everybody to the channel, the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. How is this scored? The score goes based off of placement. Every kill counts as a point. And then your placement points also count as points as well. Those are really important to be aware of, that every kill point can really make a difference. Every placement can really have you go up. So like first place, it gets 12 points. Second place gets 9 points. Third place gets 7 points. Fourth place gets 5 points. Fifth place gets 4 points. So that's how the structure goes in terms of everyone who gets points. And it will all kind of like start to add up and start to make a whole lot of sense. It's fine, guys. People, great to have you here. And Katrin, good to have you as well. Europe. So this is Europe. I did update it, so it has it there. What's your squad? I missed the beginning. I'm commentating, casting actually the tournament. I do not have a squad here. But now the squad that I would select, and there was also a question about, and so multiple questions. So commentating NA, that's going to be Nicewig. Nicewig's going to be commentating NA. I got Europe. The other question, I wonder why no Fuse. Fuse is strong in terms of his grenade potential, but in terms of rotation ability, defense ability, or grabbing resources, things of that nature, he doesn't have a lot of that. He's just offensive. So he kind of needs something to provide some rotational ability, like Wraith. I mean, he's a brawler, but outside of just putting nades out, whenever resources are really tight, it's really hard for Fuse to capitalize. It's really difficult. Now, the other question, does anyone have any tips to becoming an Apex Pro? That's a great question. So what you're seeing here, every team, whether they're signed professionally or not, can go through what they call qualifiers. So you can go through qualifiers, any team, as long as you're platinum and above. And we've seen a lot of teams have breakout performances, get signed, and have their moment, especially what you're seeing here in the championship. These individuals qualified and they got a lot of ALGS points. So it matters how many tournaments you're part of and how much you qualify to continue to push through. These teams that you're all seeing have a very consistent performance. They all know how to aim. They all know what's on the line. Every player here is extremely talented and knows exactly what they're doing in these lobbies. And it's just a matter of how much do they want it. It's really what's going to matter. Boss Guy, I'll see you later, buddy. Thank you so much for being here and appreciate you moderating and checking out the chat. If you're just tuning in, I'll be sure to update the VOD. We're going into Game 2 at the moment. We just wrapped up Game 1, and we're going into Game 2. So a pretty big day for Apex Legends Global Series. This is the championship. This is group stage where everyone is fighting for essentially their placement spots to be the top 20. I mean, if you rated this far, you've technically already won in a way, because, I mean, you're fighting against the best of the best. So it's just a matter, can you continue to take that to the next level and be the top 20? Being in the top 20 alone that's monumental. Massive, massive, massive. All right, we're just waiting for one more individual to pop right back up, and then we'll be back underway. We'll be good to go. So once we have one more person that we're missing, we'll be sure to get started. Appreciate you guys for being patient. And we'll get started. Let me know, what do you find to be the most interesting comp so far? What comp do you guys want to see? You guys miss Watson? I miss Watson, but at the same time, seeing Loba makes me excited. And so we're going to take a look at where Fire Beavers drops, just to kind of get that overall story. And that Kraber definitely made the play. That was a big moment right there that made a pretty big play. Okay, here we go. We should get started here. We'll get the countdown timer. And then we'll see every single comp decides to kind of change things up. Interesting. Do you ever see where a team tries to take out a current kill leader early? There's a lot of risk to landing on a team early on, because if you get 20th place, you don't get any points. You start getting RP points upon 15th place. That's 1 point. And literally, when we saw APAC North, we saw the difference between some teams were like 2 points, literally 2 points from advancing. Having a game where you are in 20th place is not a good game. That's a whole can't even speak. Deficit? There we go. English is my first language, apparently. It's a huge deficit that you have to deal with. And so you have to be aware of, while you can gamble and try to put out the kill leader, what is it going to be worth it for you? Do you benefit massively from it? And is it a gamble you want to take? Most of the gambles you want to take are having the zone work in your favor to really fight for you whenever you're in zone. That's what you want to fight for. So he is in, so we're just ready to start, but it looks like they're dealing with one more thing, and then we'll be underway. And yeah, I'm spectating this, commentating on this, with everything going on. Starting around 2 a.m. I know, different parts of the world, but don't worry, I'll timestamp it for you guys. You can always check this out. How long is the tournament going to be? Probably about another 3 hours, 3.5. Dolphin can lead them back from the depths. He has the potential. He's great on his rotations. He knows exactly what he's doing. All right, here we go into the next round. It looks like we're about to get started here. And whenever we do, I'll be sure to pause the music, turn on highlights so you guys can see where every team is rotating. And we'll be sure to try to capture every fight that takes place. The first fight, if we had to predict, the first fight could break out around Skyhook side. Most likely, there's 3 teams that land there. And I wonder if we're going to see any fight around Lava City as well. We'll see if that decides to break out and what position or angle we're going to get, essentially. Where is it going to end? It depends how long each round lands on. What team should I focus on? Right now, we're going to try to focus on Fire Beavers because they just took first place. They got the most amount of kills, and they had, I don't know, they were having a phenomenal round, so we need to make sure we keep a close eye on them and see the momentum they build. But we're always going to keep an eye on the kill leader and the teams that have the hardest rotations and are going to get into a gunfight. So, actually, let's talk about that score. We might actually break that down in a minute, because I know those scores probably updated. All right, let's take a look here. And the lobby is probably going to start literally in just a minute, so we won't spend too much time here. But I want you guys to look. Fire Beavers in first place with 22 points. Aqualix in second place with 13. Solo Q Goats, which is Shiv's roster with Diff Q, and that squad is currently doing quite well. So this could still be anybody's tournament, anybody's game. You know, 22 points is usually just one match to really pop off on and really make a big difference. All right, here we go. Good luck, have fun. Let's do this. You're gonna see a lag for a second. I just got to pull up my little resource tab, my things that I need. Make sure everything is nice and pretty. Have this, and let me grab this, and we are good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Best legend for rotation, fantastic question. Now we're really looking at Valkyrie being a prime suspect for positive rotation. We saw a lot of teams utilize her to get in. Gibraltar can be really positive with the bubble to buy some space, buy some times for rotation, as well as Wraith. I would say those are probably the 3 strongest rotational tools at a team's disposal. So we'll take a look to see where this takes place. See, Fire Beavers keeps consistent with Loba. Taskmaster was running a Loba before, and he's going to continue to run a Loba again. All right, our top squad right now is running a Loba. Very interesting. Yet to see it. Let's see if it continues to make a play. We'll keep an eye on Aqualix, Solo Q Goats to see if they maintain their momentum now that they've got some points under the belt. All right, we'll pause it. We'll turn on highlights. Let's switch over to Fire Beavers and see where they're landing. So they land Fragment West. And we'll keep an eye as well as teams that are on the upper left side of the map over on Skyhook and see where that's going to shape all up. Looks like they split these various buildings quite up, and they're confident in landing all separately into various buildings. So you see that Fire Beavers is making a solid amount of rotations in, so we'll keep an eye on this roster. We'll keep an eye on the Skyhook side as well. 789 is a roster to keep a close eye on. They've performed really well, especially before. Right now they're in 8th place with 6 points, but that's perfectly fine. Definitely still the first. Oh, okay. Looks like we had a unfortunate kicking. We'll be able to get right back in. I'm not sure if everyone else experienced that, but I did get kicked, unfortunately, from the lobby. Give us 2 seconds and we'll hop right back in, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Don't worry, it usually lets us right back in. So let's switch POVs here and we'll get right back in just a moment. Appreciate your patience. Don't worry, we won't miss too much of the first game because everyone is just rotating. And once I get in, we'll get right back in. So I apologize for that, chat. I'm not really sure. The whole game pretty much closed, but hopefully get right back in the lobby in just a moment. Hopefully that wasn't the whole server. Hopefully it was just on my end, but we'll find out in just a moment. Here we go. Loading back in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll capture the action. We'll get right back in. Apologize for that little technical glitch there. I'll be sure to pause the music in just a moment once we're fully in. And there we go. We're back in. Sorry about that, guys. That's the first time that's happened to me. But, you know, nonetheless, here we are. So, Solo Q Goats, let's capture what is exactly taking place. Let's make sure, who is the kill leader? Let's turn the highlights back on. If it's not on, Okay, it's back on, so I'll make sure that's on there. We haven't, luckily, still 60 players in the lobby, still 20 squads, not a problem. Everything is looking good. I knew we'd get right back in. There is a conglomerate of individuals here on the upper left side of the map. We do have teams that are rotating. Let's take a look to see what team managed to scout this out. Valkyrie can scan, and we do have a team rotating. Here's the rotational tool we're talking about. It's being utilized a lot more, which is Valkyrie. Valkyrie is being utilized way more in this tournament, which is amazing to see. It's awesome to see, honestly. For such a new character, and she doesn't necessarily feel broken because you can definitely, and we've seen teams, even at APAC North, and there's another rotation there. There they go flying in, trying to get the intel, trying to get the information. Rotating in to see where teams are located. So they see a team there. So are they going to push for it? They're pinging the back of the building here. Is this probably the safest bet? As long as they don't take too much damage. Everyone's trying to take damage at them, but luckily they do miss, and they do have a crypto to get teams to back off if they decide to push. We do have another team pushing in. This is not a Valkyrie team. They use the balloon to kind of rotate themselves in. Height looks like it is uncontested right now. We do have a potential fight breaking out here. Pinky throwing out the Gibraltar ult, trying to find some footing. Danger coming from the skies. A little bit of damage, but not enough to make a crack. Looks like he got a bit of a slide there to try to get himself in. And they really don't want to fight right now. It's so early. Let's see Dolphins team as they decide to clutch this out. And wait a minute, did we get a fight already? We did have a fight breaking out over here with Alliance. Alliance, guys, has already been breaking out into a pretty early fight. We did get a squad already wiped out, which was MG. MG's roster looked like they pushed for this building. Definitely was not the play early on for them right now. But we'll hold and make sure we don't miss the action. A lot of teams are going to be rotating. A lot of people are finding their spots and then hunkering down because there's constant gunfire really happening in the lobby. It's very consistent right now. Teams all fighting, and there's the port right now. To make a play in, there's the aggro push from Hawkus going for the loot over here, rotating back and forth. They do have the team to the left of them, and they're making sure they can loot everything up here as much as possible. And we do have 7, 8, 9 get a knock, but is it going to be enough for them to push out? We do have Aqualix roster going for a rotation in. And we do have FB. Let's take a look at FB. They do have one knock. They have the bubble out for rotation here. This is an absolute cluster here at this angle here. Just constant fights that are breaking out. And there's the punch that we just managed to capture there. They're trying to get the loot, but got a little bit greedy there. A little bit greedy with the loot, and you can see that they found their positioning in. Let's take a look at Fire Beavers, which is our top roster from before. Everyone's making a push for these buildings. Everyone knows that it's going to pull potentially at that angle. Everyone knows it. Everyone's waiting for it. Let's take a look over at Third Impact, who's getting into a firefight. Everything right now has been mostly at a distance, taking some initial shots and damage, trying to connect some G7 shots. Can he get the crack? Some initial damage here. Everyone right now is kind of held up. Everyone's kind of rotated. We're unsure if they're going to really instigate a whole nother fight right now. Most of the fight should happen around the rotation end. We have Fire Beavers, who's going to get in a potential fight here on the south side of the map. Valkyrie's just in the sky looking for some information with Gambit. Gambit looking for the spot, looking for the angle. Do we have any potential firefights? Right now we do have FB taking some angles, but even if they get a knock, how are they going to get in? They do not have a Wraith rotation, but they do have an Octane to jump in with a jump pad, but it means they don't have a push out. So Gambit's roster is pulling as much resources as they can to get into a fight, and they're pulling extra resources and extra tools at their disposal. So you're going to see a lag at the moment. I just want to make sure that the screen is being captured, so I apologize for tabbing out. I was just making sure everything is good because we did have a crash, so I want to make sure everything is fine. Don't want to miss any of the action that we're seeing here. We do have Solo Q Ghost getting into a fight here. Diff Q does have the gold armor, but they are rotating back. The zone is closing. They are feeling the pressure. Shiv's movement, tap strafing like an absolute demigod as he rotates over. He does have the armor swap, and this team is going to get into a potential firefight. There is a rotation in. Connects a little bit of damage, but also getting shot from a distance. They know they have a long way to go. Because if he got a knock there, I guarantee they would have stayed and fought that. But unfortunately, they did not. Let's take a look at the most damage in the lobby right now. It's from FB. Has 2 kills under his belt with 321 damage. We do have a team that is rotating right into the open. See if he connects any of his damage there. He does not. We'll take a look to see where we can predict the next fight. Does get hit a little bit there. Getting shot from a whole different angle. That's definitely coming from Taskmaster's side. Let's take a look. And which team this was. FB has a nice angle on a whole lot here. They have a lot of information, but could also spell death once everyone wants their spot and how many people are actually going to push them. Oh, look, we have this team being completely chased because of their armor situation. So they're trying to rotate out. Are they going to be caught out? Let's take a look at Shiv's HP. Is quite low. It is first zone, and he does go down. Kick does manage to knock them, but now all they can do is essentially rotate, and it looks like Shiv's team going for 3rd place before could go out here in 18th place. They do have to just keep rotating. They cannot go back and res him. At this point, Kick is going to secure that kill. So it looks like they've been chasing him for quite a while. Let's take a look if any other fights are going to break out. Morning Stars does have to push in quite hard to Dead Inside here, and then they have to push quite hard into Fire Beavers.
Nobody panic, but we got bandits out there.
So we'll see how this roster pushes in. Let's take a look at Morning Stars. They have the position here. They're arc starring. So we got 2 potential fights that are going to break out here, and here they go. They go right into this. He's going to throw his bubble right for some pushing. Should see the bubble go out in just a moment unless the team decides to run out. They're waiting for the scan, and the scan has gone back, and now they're going to push in. The bubble needs to be there for the push, but they have not really fully engaged. They keep giving them a little bit more room. They're giving them more room and more room and more room. So once they see the opportunity, the opening, they will push on this. Let's see if Nissa is able to make a play, or if they're going to hold their bubble. They're holding the bubble right now. They have 1 minute and 21 to make a play. We'll switch over to the POV, over to Boss in just a moment. I know he got a knock, but it looked like it was from a distance. There's an initial spray and pray there. Let's see how they decide to rotate out of this absolute mess. Let's take a look at the map. So Boss managed to come right in from behind and pick on them. So they managed to lose 1, unfortunately, there. Let's take a look at 789. That's also managed to get a knock. And now there's just non-stop damage coming out here. There's the port to go right back. Securing their spot and securing their ankle. We do have a fight breaking out from Aqualix as well. And we're going to see a lot of pressure points here. A lot of pressure. Let's keep an eye on Fire Beavers because they are our current first place team right now with a total of 21 points. They currently are dominating right now the lobby, or they were dominating before the prior round. Can they keep up this momentum? They do have a team that has to rotate into them in 19 seconds, so we'll keep an eye on this. Taskmaster before had the Kraber. This team has to move in 10 seconds. We'll keep an eye on this. If Fire Beavers goes out here, that's our first place team with 22 points that's out. So that's why we're watching them right now and holding on this. I know there's another fight that's breaking out. We have potentially 2 or 3 fights that are breaking out, but we're going to keep an eye on Fire Beavers just because we want to see if they get knocked out here, if they get some extra points, that could be the momentum that they're looking for. So we'll see if they manage to keep the momentum or what this is going to look like. 2 seconds. I'm going to experience a little bit of a lag. I just need to pull this up. 1 second. And unfortunately, Contra, I'm unable to do that once it's live, so we'll be sure to do that for the VOD. Alright, so they decide to do the rotation in. And we do have DNMK looking at this rotation from the sky. Let's take a look where Third Impact is even going to find space. They're going to have to fight for this immediately. A team did leave here, and here's the fight that's going to break out here immediately. There's a scan. One is all by himself, and Jazz, let's see if he can manage to make a play here. Some initial shots. They have a hard rotation in. They're going to go right back to their spot. Let's take a look at Fire Beavers, their spot from before. They did let the team rotate in. Morning Stars managed to find some positioning and some spacing in. So the title was approved by EA, just a FYI, Cotrin. That was required, but I had to get the approval to make the change for the VOD or for future streams. I'll bring it up with them, just so it adds some clarity. Let's take a look back at Fireboss's POV here. They're hard gating them here. There's a lot of gating that's about to occur. A lot of teams have to rotate in, so we'll see how all this decides to take place. It's calling for the positioning up there, but unfortunately he's getting shot, I imagine, here at different spots. Once the next fight breaks out, let's take a look at who the current kill leader is. We have 2 kills. Still, this is the most damage that's been done in the lobby. And this is potentially going to be the next fight that breaks out here with Taskmaster's POV. We do have the drone up in the air, and here we go. This is where Solo Q Goats, and there's the ult, and they may have to make a play into this, and here it is. Can they manage to clutch this out? And unfortunately, they drove the bubble down. Is it enough? And unfortunately, is not. And Succubus now has a nice clean fight and more kills under their name. Kick is rotating in from the south side over here. And let's see if they manage to stop that rotation. They get a little bit of damage here with the charge rifle, but unfortunately not enough to get them to stop the rotation. We do have Morning Stars with a fight here potentially going to break out from the underground. They do see the bubble from a distance. We'll have to keep a close eye on all of that that's taking place. They do have the low ground, and Dead's Eye is making the team aware that they do exist and they are present in the current fight. So they could push on this. Morning Stars could make a play, but we'll see where it is. Again, the most amount of damage that has taken place in the lobby actually comes from, again, FB. FB has the most amount of damage currently dished out in the lobby, and it looks like Morning Stars, again, here is trying to secure some extra points. There's a scan back out, so they're aware of where they're located. And it looks like the team, let's take a look here at D and MK. We'll switch back over in just a moment. They're trying to rotate in. And I don't know if there's going to be a potential fight here or how things are going to shape up and play out. But they're definitely going to feel the pressure. They're going to hold the low ground here, and there's a scan. Can they make a push for this? The Thermite is there, putting the pressure. And then we might actually be at a stall point. Let's go right back. Let's take a look at Morning Stars and how they're handling their situation here. They do have the edge of the zone. And here it is. There's the ult to stop their rotation. He's going to throw that ult to get them to stop. And they threw the ult right back. And now they're going to have to rotate right into Fire Beavers here in just a moment. There's the initial damage going out. Unfortunately, they do manage to get away, but now they're running right into a different team, into Succubus, who gets the EVA 8 shot. Unfortunately, gets knocked out. This is not necessarily a clean fight for them. Dead Inside definitely having a bit of a struggle point there. With Morning Stars taking shots from a distance over here, picking on enemy teams. They do have the high ground. This is looking pretty good for them until a team rotates right behind them. Is this team going to rotate right behind them? Is Fire Beavers going to make a play? Are they not? Is Underrated going to be able to get out of this situation? They are in a tight spot here. They're getting burned from every which angle. He is unfortunately probably unable to go for this res, and he has to heal through this. There's 1 knock, 2 knock potentially going to occur for this roster and for this team. Let's take a look at Fire Beavers, again, who was in first place before. Everyone has a hard rotation in here. Kick is aware that a rat is located over there at this angle, and we'll see where all of this takes place. So there is a rotation. The Valkyrie is just flying right in from above. We'll take a look at where Morning Star is coming in for this kill, but unfortunately is getting caught out of positioning here. And unfortunately, they are rotating right back. So Scars Europe does have a Kraber in play. We'll see if they manage to do anything with the Kraber. That is a question. We do have 14 squads, 39 individuals remaining. And we'll see where we're able to capture the next fight that is going to break out. So Fire Beavers is flying right in to the teams that are located right in front of them. So remember, we're with the Battle Royale, unfortunately, there's a lot of teams that will rotate all at once. And sometimes we'll be unable to capture everything that does take place. But as long as we're following the main narrative and the main story, can they push into this building? They're trying to make a push in. The Wraith does try to go for some entry, and unfortunately, because of the ult, it does spell death for them. And now Alliance does have 1 individual down. They managed to make a stop for that, but now they have to worry about the rotation. Fire Beavers does have the height here. They have a little bit of a hard rotation to kind of push in. They're going for the Hemlock shots, about 50 or 60 damage rotated in. And let's take a look at the fight that's happening for Morning Stars as well as Scars. Mask getting absolute fried in the back, switching the POV here to see if they're able to respond to this. Gets a little bit of damage with the EVA 8, and Nessa coming in with at least potentially one knock, but Kick has now another solid fight to their name. This is a big round for Kick if they manage to keep this momentum, but now they're getting rotated on from a whole different team. They have the jump pad to kind of push right in, and now they're getting absolutely fried from a distance here. Let's take a look at DNMK to see how they're going to respond. There's a scan. He rotates right in, sprays right down the hall, and gets a double kill added to his name. So Scars Europe does have the low ground here, and a team is potentially going to push right on them. They have the low ground. It's very uncomfortable, but luckily they are not taking damage here, and they're able to hold. So they do have a potential spot here. Let's take a look at FB, who has the height, looking from a whole different angle. And Alliance just looks like they connected 1 kill and 2 kill. We got the Dr. Seuss over here. Finally, a kill leader has made themselves present. This is the first announcement of a kill leader that's taken a lobby with a total of 4 kills. As we see the next fight breaking out, Scars Europe is trying to recover. He's got the Kraber. Can he get the no-scope? Can he connect? And does go down. And let's see if Taishin is able to recover. They have the shields up. He gets 1 knock. Is he able to It's got a 1v1 now in this situation. There is a knock up from above. He tries to get it back. He's holding from the Gibraltar ult. Let's see what actually takes place. And there's the res, but it looks like the Gibraltar ult does take him down. FB was there to help him go for the cleanup there. So Taskmaster's team, that's Firebeaver, does go down. So now we need to take a look at the Third Impact, who has the rotation from the north side as they're pushing over. Third Impact is looking for a third party. They got 30 seconds to retaliate, to make a decision, to make a potential play here. Things are getting a little tight, and they do have a Crypto ult in the air. And once they rotate in, that Crypto ult can spell death. Let's take a look over at Alliance. So Alliance made a push right in, and now they're rotating right back out. So that Kraber did manage to make a play there, and now he is recovering. So a team did get knocked. There's a lot of rotation. Again, like we mentioned with the Battle Royale, a lot of action can take place all at once, and our goal is to capture as much of the story and the narrative as humanly possible. We have FB has to push onto this building, so we'll keep a close eye on FB as they rotate, because they have no time now, and they have to make a push and make a play into the building. They may take height, they may take the low ground. Ideally, they may take the height of this building instead to make a potential play. They do have their spacing. Let's take a look at the kill leader. Currently is Aqualix. Aqualix, the current kill leader, frying and spraying. But they're catching a lot of teams out in rotation, and this is where they're getting a lot of their kill points. So let's see if they manage to secure a lot of this, or if it's going to come from Aqualix. And there's FB trying to respond to the team here. They throw the bubble out for cover, and they do manage to get a shield battery out to recover the situation. We'll switch back over to the kill leader. He flies right above, utilizes that Valkyrie jetpack for good positioning, and now they have to reciprocate back with the unfortunate circumstance of being down. So this is Scars, by the way, pushing right in. They're trying to hold on for dear life, and we have Aqualix trying to respond here on the north side. Switch over to Scars Europe. We just managed to see a Kraber shot push right back into play here. They were doing a lot of initial damage, but unfortunately the damage was not enough for them to make the play that they're looking for. So they may get rid of that Kraber. They may hold on to it here. They got 30 seconds to make a decision. There's a lot of teams that have to rotate in, and we have Alliance here on the low ground, and we need to keep a close eye as well on Scars Europe. So let's take a look at who the current kill leader is. It's still Aqualix. Aqualix still has the most damage currently in the lobby with 3 kills now, holding up on the high ground. So as teams decide to rotate, Scars is holding the outside of this building, and they're holding it confidently. So let's see if Mandate can put on a performance for us with the Kraber. He still has a Kraber. He still has the EVA 8. Let's see with this rotation if he's able to make a potential play. So they do have height, and they do have a bird's eye view on this. Let's see if the Kraber is enough to make a potential play. The Arc Star does go out. He does get an angle here. One does get knocked. He does get a massive crack there. RPR does manage to get a massive amount of damage. Their Gibraltar is holding. Let's switch over to RPR and what he's holding and waiting for. And they rotate right back up into the building. And now they're claiming dominance. And he's dropping his backpack so his Gibraltar can grab it for this. So there's only 5 teams remaining. We have a team that's on height that holds the most dominant spot at the moment. It's just a matter if they can continue to hold this. He's trying to hold a Gibraltar ult. They could get a Gibraltar ulted back, but that is why they have the bubble to buy themselves some space and buy themselves some time. Let's see if he manages to connect one of these Kraber shots. They're trying to be patient. They got 4 shots left in it. He's going to fly right above them. And there's the Arc Star. It does stick. He does manage to get a knock. Mandate manages to flick right over with his EVA 8, and it looks like Aqualix is going to be taking a massive amount of damage. He almost connects one of the Kraber shots, holds for another angle. There's a Gibraltar ult to put the pressure. There's only 4 squads remaining. They reciprocate back with a Gibraltar ult, and they need to put their bubble down. Let's take a look from a different POV and how 789 is going to hold this angle. There's only 3 squads remaining. We got 1 inside, 1 down below, and the Crypto ult is going to completely take out their bubble. They have 48 seconds. Can he connect a Kraber shot to make a difference in this play? If he does, that's going to make him break everything. And there is the cue to push right in to find themselves some positioning, if they can do so. This is looking very tight in terms of positioning, in terms of angles, and where everything is taking place. There's the PK shots initially. They go for the third. And unfortunately, it looks like Scars Europe is going to go out. NCD. And it looks like 789 managed to clutch out. The initial fight and how it broke out is that the two teams engaged with one another, unfortunately. They really pushed, and when that push happened, that really gave it to 789. So they really had a little bit of time to kind of push it, but that aggressive play really cost them because 789 capitalized on everything that took place. So give me 1 second here. We'll switch back over, and we'll be sure to capture all the action. I'll be sure to respond to all you guys in the comments. As the games keep going, we'll be able to better predict exactly where teams are rotating. A lot of fights are breaking out simultaneously, and we'll be sure to capture everything that is happening. So yeah, just remember the stream is on a 5-minute delay. Let's take a look at how many Team 789 had. So they managed to clean up most of their kills at the end there with 5 plus 2, so total 12. So they're looking at around 19 total points. That is definitely going to boost them up higher from what they were before, potentially taking a higher spot. So we'll break down the scores from what we saw from before, and we'll talk about everything that we saw. So again, a lot of fights are breaking out towards the end zone. It seems like Europe, there's a lot of rotation and passive plays that are happening at the very start, but teams are trying to find their footing later, and that seems to be where everyone is getting caught out and pushed out. So we'll need to see how that continues to play out and what opportunities there are for teams to continue to make a play. So we're going to segue now, and we're going to go to Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. And let's talk through everything that we see, okay? Let me talk with all of you guys in chat and get your input on what you guys believe that's happening. So again, the region is, by the way, Europe. And we're going to scroll back quite a bit to capture everything that's taking place. See, a lot of early fights, a lot of it. Do I speak Spanish? Unfortunately, I do not. This is going to be an English broadcast. Looks like it'll be Sorting Factory to start off the fights. Believe it or not, it wasn't actually Sorting Factory. And yeah, we do see a Loba in play. So 1 second. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Leave a like if you're enjoying what you're seeing. We're going to be here in Game 3 in just a moment from everything that you see. Yeah, and by the way, DAMN, we definitely do our best. I let you know who the kill leader is. You saw who the kill leader is. There are definitely fights that will break out simultaneously. Sometimes teams will engage on it. We'll do our best to predict where the action is going to take place. But sometimes a team will disengage from that fight, and another team will actually just kind of full-on send it. It's a little bit... You get a feel for the teams. I usually cast a lot of APAC North, but as I adjust over to Europe, we'll definitely be able to predict. So going into Game 3, we're going to be able to predict the teams that are definitely going to get into more fights. Like Kick, by the way, is definitely pretty big on getting into more fights. So the lobby code is up, so let me hop into the lobby here. All right, so we'll get into the next round. This is Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. We have a few more rounds under our belts, by the way. So let's look at the scoreboard, what we saw before as this is being updated. Let's break this down. Let's talk this through and let's get an understanding. So this is just still Game 1, okay? All the scores haven't updated, but let's understand what Game 1 is looking like. So we did have LCDF. Oh, excuse me. Fire Beavers. Fire Beavers they came in 10th place from before. 25 total points for the Fire Beavers. This is, keep in mind, we're talking about Game 1. Once this gets fully updated, we'll talk about Game 2 and break all of that down. Oculix was in 2nd place. They were kill leader. They had a lot of kills under their belt. Solo Q Goats unfortunately got kicked out pretty early on. So we're going to see 789 really boost up on this, by the way. They're going to take a much higher positioning than they did before. It's something to really highlight. 789 was in 11th place with 6 with only 6 points, but because they got first there, that's really going to boost them up and give them a lot more presence overall in the tournament. So we'll have to keep a close eye on how this shifts, and once this gets updated, we'll be sure to break all of this down. Okay, 2 seconds here. So it looks like, yeah, we did have a crash. Let's take a look here. Sam, appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. All right, so again, we'll do our best to always capture the action. You know, we look at the kill leaders, we look at the narrative of what we're looking at, and we'll be sure to kind of paint it. Again, there is a 5-minute delay from what you're seeing. Either high or fall raw. Agreed, in terms of what you see with Fuse. These streamers didn't even lock Fuse. Fuse could definitely make a play if he brings a lot more utility to the group. Valkyrie definitely made a pretty big play there as well. Why do you guys think needs the biggest buff? Were you guys talking about Fuse? Just want to make sure. Stream snipe, but there's a 5-minute delay. All right, but hopefully DAMN, hopefully you're enjoying the stream, bud. Just remember to be respectful. We're listening to feedback. We'll do our best to always capture everything that's taking place. Just enjoy your time, man. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the vibes. It's all positive vibes. We're all here to enjoy the tournament and capture what we can see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Appreciate all of you guys. See, there was another comment. Des, really enjoying content. Want to see you keep up. I appreciate it, man. And this next one, we'll make sure to capture what we see happening. I think teams are going to start to play a lot more aggressively. We'll start to see it really take place and really happen. But yeah, I apologize that we had a quick crash there, but we managed to get right back in, so all is well. All right, and once we all get in, let's see where teams decide to take this. Let me hit refresh on this, and let's see if the scores have been updated for us to fully review. Okay, they have. Let's take a look at the top 6 teams, and this is going to be the narrative that we're going to take a look at as we look at each of these rosters. So we have Aqualix. Remember I mentioned, like, we caught a lot of their action in the fights that really took place with them, but now they are in first place with 26 points. Fire Beavers, unfortunately, take second place now with 25 total points, but they can definitely shoot up higher on the scoreboard. 789 is looking pretty positive after that next win. They had a 4th place rounder, but they didn't have the kill points to really showcase it. So we'll see how that decides to really pop up. We have Scars EU taking 4th place with a total of 21, and Alliance in 5th place with a total of 19 points. And of course, we'll take a look at T-Rex. So these are the teams that we need to start to keep an eye on. The meta is starting to shift, and teams are already taking a different direction. So it's very exciting to see. We'll start to see that adjustment, and we'll start to capture what's taking place. It's interesting that we see just how many of the teams and rosters are starting to adjust to what's happening in the lobby. We'll see if early pushes take place, what we can predict, and what's going to take place. All right, so I appreciate all of you guys for being patient. All right, as Matthew McConaughey would say. So everyone's in the lobby. We're just waiting for the next part to start. And let me just pull up my resources here and what we're looking at. So when we go into the next game, we'll capture literally as much as humanly possible. Because listen, there's a lot of action. A lot takes place all at once. It gets so crazy, just what we're seeing. I wonder if Loba's can it continue to make a play? They have a lot of momentum. They have it there. So it's just a matter of how much they're going to be able to continue that overall momentum. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how things continue to shape up and what continues to happen. All right. Game 3, ladies and gentlemen, going underway. Don't forget to hydrate. Don't forget to grab yourself a snack. Come right back and enjoy everything you're seeing. All right. So it should begin here in just a moment. Everyone is connected. I still can't believe we saw Loba take the first round of the day. For anybody who's a Loba fan, that's definitely gonna change things and how they're gonna happen. And yeah, like if we break down what happened with Scars there, this is a great moment from chat. Like again, you know, we listened for all you guys giving your feedback. And if there's a specific team that you guys are passionate about, type in the chat who you guys want to see. And let's try to paint them into the narrative what's happening. Because we have 4 amazing teams right now in the top 4. We got Aqualix in first with 26, Fire Beavers in second with 25. You have 7, 8, 9 in third with 25, and Scars in fourth with 21 points. This is close. This is really, really close, ladies and gentlemen, of how that literally any point, 1 point can make the difference between going from to third to second and then even to first. So it's just a matter of who gets a Nox, where the points are going, and if these teams are going to maintain their momentum. It's very interesting to see Aqualix continue to make a play. So we're going to keep an eye on Aqualix. Alliance is doing quite well in terms of their overall kills because they had 9 kills. We'll keep an eye on them because they're fighting for it. Keep an eye on 7, 8, 9. And we'll keep an eye on Fire Beavers because they were first place before. So essentially we got 4 teams we need to keep an eye on. And we need to keep switching PLVs and make sure we capture it. And if nothing is happening there, we'll go to the edge of the zone. We'll see who's getting caught out, what's going to happen, and how the teams are going to actually make a play, make a push. Because the edge of the zone is the hardest place for a team to really be stuck at. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the mods. Kotrin, thank you so much for helping manage the chat. It really means a whole lot. And we'll be going into the next round here. So 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So we got our hotkeys. And as the rounds keep going and we understand what teams are doing and we are educated, even you guys as the audience and me watching, let us know. Let us know who you want to see. Type in chat. Who are you voting for? How are you gauging points? Points happen on a scale on Apex Legends based on placement. An example, first place gets 12 points, second place gets 9 points, third place gets 7 points, and then points start scaling down. And every time you get a kill, that counts as a point on the leaderboard as well. So you have to play aggressively, and you have to get good placement. Like we're seeing from 7, 8, 9, it doesn't just necessarily mean you can get good placement and get in 4th place. That's not enough. You have to get kills. You have to go into the gunfights to really push for something. Does Horizon need a buff to be an ALGS? It's a fantastic question. Horizon was very meta before, but she has definitely been pushed out of the meta because her Q doesn't provide her as much height. All right, so what we're going to see here, breaking all this down. Teams making their selections. What is their selection going to be? Are we going to see Fire Beavers? Yeah, it looks like Taskmaster is sticking with Loba. I'll keep this up. All right, and we have Fire Beavers sticking with the Loba. We have still the Revenant making a play, making a presence in Apex Legends Global Series Championship. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. This is Apex Legends Global Series Championship for Europe. Everything will be timestamped. We'll put everything underway. We'll pause the music. We'll turn on the highlights. We'll keep an eye on our new stars of the roster. And listen, if another team pops off and gets a lot of kills, we gotta go take a look at it. We have to watch it when a team builds up this type of momentum. Right now we have the likes of Aqualix taking a high position. We have Fire Beavers having awesome positioning as well. We have 7, 8, 9. We have Alliance. All of these teams right now are continuing to pop off, and it's just going to be a matter how much they can maintain it. Like our solo queue goats were goats the first round, but unfortunately they got knocked early. They didn't necessarily have the resources to maintain what they wanted to do. So we'll see if they can do it. Did somebody just get charge rifled? What the heck? It's definitely an early. Let's see if we have any 50-50s. Or is anybody going to push? Is anybody going to 50-50 run off the rip? We do see a team landing very close. Very, very close to solo queue goats. Is this Kick's team? Yeah, Kick's team is really close, meaning that they're going to be a constant rival to the solo queue goats. Constant rival. They were there last round, they were there before, and Kick has definitely managed to get some good kills under their belt. The downside, though, that they're running into is that they're struggling on getting placement, because by the time they go for placement, is definitely going to be a bit of a struggle on where they're going to fit. So 789 contesting sorting factoring here. They weren't fighting the last 2 rounds, but we'll see if they decide to actually contest this. This is insiders trying to get the inside information by going right in for a beacon scan, which is going to pull over by countdown side. We do have some shots taken by the solo queue goats. This is a rivalry in the making. This is going to trigger people on Twitter asking, why are we fighting so early on? Why are we fighting? There's a million other people in the lobby. Do we have to fight? Why are we fighting? But Kickstand has been feeling really confident. They've been feeling very confident. And they're going for the rotation over to Trials. But listen, if they get a shot on them and they get a knock, that could be the end. Is Kick going to respond to this? Are they going to push them? Or are they going to rotate? And they decide for the rotation. There's respect here. There's respect here. But they also have DNMK to worry about on the north side of the map. They are aware and they are present here. There is a zone that's going to pull Alliance here, making some plays. We have FB, who was doing really well before, but they definitely need a lot more points to the leaderboard to really push themselves up. They had good positioning before, but they weren't unable to maintain it. 789 is just rotating in. They're finding their angles. They're chilling. They're chilling. So it looks like we got a lot of fans. We got a lot of fans looking for solo queue goats. DNMK Alliance and NCD. Listen, there's a lot of stars in this lobby. There's a lot of talent here. A lot of talent, ladies and gentlemen. So Shiv's roster right now, they're getting the gold armors. This worked for them before. This is if you watched APAC North, there's the question consistently of because T1 does the rotation of Trials as well as Lava Fissure, and they're very much respected, and they do not. Oh, and Aqualix getting into a fight here. Let's take a look at this angle. Aqualix running a Caustic and as well as a Crypto. Beryl, thank you so much for becoming a member. It's appreciate you having here. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to show your support and leave a like if you're enjoying what you see. Seriously, leave a like if you enjoy what you see. I'm just trying to see if Aqualix roster, who landed over here. Let's take a look. This is Insiders just rotating in. And it looks like Aqualix has got the feel for this one. Definitely gotten the feel for this. And they're making a play and making a push. Third Impact is in a fight, and let's hold here because they're trying to push in. They're already engaging. They're in a fight. The other shot looks like came from the distance. Is he going to manage to clutch this out? Manage to get for the knock here. Sprays him, and Yuki throws a barrel and secures it. And says, let's secure this kill. Let's secure this angle. Let's take a look at Third Impact, who's here in an angle, getting an initial shot here. And they're getting picked on. Let's see if Third Impact manages to get this angle. One tried to run, but is it going to be enough of a run to make a play? They're going for the burns. They're feeling the burn. And Aqualix is just kind of rotating right in the open for free here. Alliance is pretty nearby. And you see Aqualix is across the way. These are some of our tops team. Let's take a look at Firebeaver. Let's take a look actually over at Third Impact because they are already getting into another firefight. They're making a push in. There's a lot of picks happening this early on. There's a Crypto ult to reciprocate, but luckily the battery comes right in time. Are they going to push this or are they going to hold off? That Crypto ult looked like it was a sign of please back off. We do not have time for you. We do not have time for this. So their Third Impact is kind of chilling, just kind of finding their way, making their way downtown, going fast, feeling fast. Switch over to Aqualix. That's getting a hard rotation here. They're about to run into a team. Let's see if Sir Del can get some entry damage. He unfortunately does not. He has to go for the bat. And Yuki is trying to make an angle and make a cover and throws this caustic gas to find some positioning. So it looks like they're going to chill here in this building and find their spot there. And Alliance is picking on them here from a distance. Already getting some early shots here. Early action, ladies and gentlemen. We already have 2 squads already out. So let's take a look now. Who is the current kill leader? Who's got the most kills? It's actually Third Impact. Third Impact actually has the most amount of kills right now. If you look right now, Third Impact with 4 kills under their belt. And it looks like we also have a fight breaking out from NCD, excuse me. And we'll switch over to that POV now. 2 seconds. Scar's taking some shots here from a distance. And it looks like did they move their number here? There we go. I'll have to flip-flop those numbers. Looks like I had it in my notes. I flip-flopped them on accident, so I apologize for that. But it looks like we may have a fight here by Scars at this angle. So Europe is getting very aggro very quickly. We're seeing a lot of aggro fights breaking out here. Came just in time for the Revenant push. They managed to send them back. Europe does not care. They do not care what happens here. They're making pushes and they're making plays. There's a lot of teams here. This is a whole different vibe from what we've seen from APAC North already in the championship. APAC was always more known for early fights, but unfortunately we're seeing, let's switch over to this fight. Early fight, but now it looks like Shiv's team, they're going to come for revenge here. They're going to show up here knowing that there is a knock. They're going to make a play off of this. There's the Arc Star. And there's the nade, so they can make a play. The port is out. Let's see if they manage to connect this or if they manage to get out just in time. There is a knock underneath. I wonder if Shiv does see it. He does. He's going to connect that, and they're going to abandon their poor little Gibraltar here. And that's going to be it for them. Looks like Kick does manage to rotate in, but they are now they're getting picked on from the height angle over here from Morning Stars. So they see them. They're taking some of those early shots, and their Wraith is trying to cut them off. But now that they're cut off, I wonder how Shiv's team, Solo Queue Warriors, is actually going to respond to this. Are they going to keep pushing up? Let's see if they're going to push up right behind them. No, they have the building from down below, but they also have an uphill battle here. The Wraith is quite extended, but they know that they have the angles and there's nothing much here to worry about. We do have Scars, who's holding the angle, holding the hard gate, and we're going to see Morning Stars roll up right on them. This is going to be a conglomerate. This is going to be a cluster of fights about to break out. And it looks like he does go out, and it looks like, let's take a look at their POV here. And bring him up. So the Solo Queue Goats has a little bit of time to rotate, but they don't necessarily have all of the time in the world to rotate. So it's only going to take a matter of time before we see them make a decision to rotate in. We do see Alliance and Aqualix are just kind of sitting near the center of the zone, so not much to worry about. Not a lot to worry about. We'll try to capture that action as soon as it happens. Everyone right now is just stuck. So somebody could ego push at any one moment. Like 789 has a low ground here. Let's see, Scars is making a port over here. They're making a play, but they're going for the loot. So is Scars going to get pushed by Solo Queue Goats? Are they going to be pushed by them? You see them. The Solo Queue Goats are pushing in. They say we're goated. We're ready to fight. Are they going to put on a show for us? Are they going to make it happen? Are they going to rotate on the south side? We'll have to find out. We do see some shots being taken at a distance. And we'll see how all of this shapes up. There's one of the smokes out. Smokes out from Bangalore. Nice to see a Bangalore at this caliber and this level.
Target spotted.
Now, this is really the biggest fight that should be taking place right here. Because there's an angle. They literally on the clock, they have a minute and 20. A minute and 20. Right now, there's a calls to rotation. You guys want to rotate in? You want to go push that team? Do we push them? How much damage do you got? Oh, shoot, I got cracked, is what Diff is really 100% calling right now. He's got cracked, but at least he's got his gold armor. And now Morning Stars really has to answer for this. They got a minute. They're going to get picked on by Scars. They're going to get picked on. And Zephyth is making a push up, but they are aware now finally of Scars that they have the center. He gets a little bit of a crack here. A little bit of a crack, but they manage to get them off of height. So if you look at the map here, you see them right across the way. They know they're there. They know that they're there. And now they only have less than 40 seconds to make a decision, to make a play. Less than 40 seconds. We do have Succubus is in a fight as well. Looks like it's just a PK shot. Let's take a look. We'll switch right back. Looks like they're not committing on it. It looks like it was a cleanup. So we'll hold on this. They got 22 seconds to make a play. You see everyone on the map. You understand where everyone is located. This is the next play. Everyone right now is safe. We're looking at a safe team besides these two teams. And look, there is a rotation right behind them. So are they going to become a sandwich? They do see them taking shots. That information of those shots is just give a clear signal for this team to be careful. So it looks like they are finding some space here. Scars is going to gate them. Let's see how Mande decides to respond to Solo Queue Goats. Almost the Solo Queue Warriors. Let's see how they manage to find some positioning and some angles here.
Let's check out this area.
They're gating. They're waiting. The team is taking the hard rotation on the north side. And Taishin is in the center here, just waiting. The zone is closing and the pressure is on. And there's a rotation. Taishin sees it over on the right. And they do see the solo queue warriors. There's 70 damage in from Taishin. Can he connect another 70? Gets another 70. Total of 140 or 140 damage. Quick math. Math is difficult. Waiting for the angle, waiting for the push. But they're still in over there. They're still in. And Valkyrie making some pushes here. Trying to create some space where it doesn't exist. And look at that smoke making a play. Making a play. Let's take a look at what they're calming and what they're deciding. Definitely trying to connect some damage. Let's take a look at who the current kill leader of the lobby is. And it's still third impact with the most amount of damage, 348, and with the most amount of kills. So currently we have 45 individuals left in the lobby with 15 squads remaining. So right now, it may not seem like a lot's happening, but a lot is. Teams are feeling pressured, especially from solo queue goats. And when we look at Morningstars, they're just in the opposite spectrum. You see them on the edge of the map. These teams, while they're not fighting, Alliance also has a hard rotation in. So what's going to happen again? We're going to see that multiple fights are going to break out. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's the inevitable moment where Scars has this gate. And Fire Beavers is still doing quite well in the center. Doesn't have any kills to their name, but they're doing well. And we'll have to see where if FB and Alliance are going to run into each other. Are the solo queue warriors going to run into each other with Scars at the helm of this? We have potentially 3 different fights that are about to break out. And there's definitely not enough space for everyone. Not enough space. Aqualix is definitely in a better spot. Alliance really connected a lot there in the Valkyrie ult. FB is trying to rotate in. Let's see what they're going to do. What space are they going to have? They're going to show up right in the middle, and they are completely separated. You can feel the panic. There's definitely a bit of panic there as they're running around for dear life, trying to find their positioning. He's got a triple take in hand, trying to get some damage. The Gibraltar bubble was there for some positioning and some fighting. We'll switch over to Aqualix because they need to rotate in just a moment, and we'll take a look at Scars as well. Oh, let's see if we can connect this. Pinky does go down, unfortunately, to Succubus. There is the shotgun up close and personal. He does manage to connect one. Let's see how they're... He's just recovering, and there's a jump pad for the angle back out. And they're going to rev ult push right down from below. Is he going to manage to get this res? And it looks like they're going to try to res their ally there, and they use the rev to push right back down. Let's switch over to Aqualix POV and how they're going to handle the rotation. Let's take a look at Shiv's team as they're rotating out in the open. They use the smoke for some cover, but isn't going to be enough of a cover. Like I mentioned, there's multiple teams breaking out into a fight. There's multiple angles. Scar is making a port right over for Shiv's team. They're hungry. They want to eat them. They're quite literally going to probably go for a kidnap here. Is RPR going to make a play? Can he find the angle? He screams, oh, heck no, I'm not going for that anymore. Because I saw Morningstars roll up on them, and Morningstars is deciding to opt out, while Solo Q Goats is now finding some position angles in. There's an absolute cluster of damage happening. There's a bubble just to provide them some angles and some cover, but they have limited amount of time. And there's the EVA 8 shots, and they managed to clean this up. They got to recover, but they do not have enough, not enough time, because now they're getting shot from Scars from a distance. Shiv is now the kill leader with 4 total kills. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Apex Legends is absolutely insane, the amount of damage and things that you are always seeing. Scars is looking for the opportunity to pick on them, but they are not giving them any room to breathe. Alliance has the south side of the map, while Morningstars is getting picked on from the open field. Absolutely crazy. And now everyone has luckily found some of their spots. Let's take a look at Dolphins roster. NCD finding their spots and their positioning and their locations here.
This way, let's go.
Right now, all our best bets is let's take a look at the kill leader. Again, the kill leader is Shiv. Got the most kills in the lobby. On fire. They had a hard rotation, and now they're gating Scars. Let's take a look at what Scars is doing. Scars is getting into a fight on the side with Morningstars. I wonder if Shiv's team is aware with solo queue goats of what's happening here. Scars Europe needs to get this team out quickly. They have to get them out before they rotate in. And there's a scan. The bubble's about to disappear, meaning they do not have the bubble. Can they make a play? They're getting picked on from a distance. This wipe is about to occur. Taking a shot. Endless amount of ammo. The Spitfire has so much ammo left in his chamber. Sentinel connecting for 70 damage. And they decide to rotate out. Let's take a look at what is going on with them. How are they going to recover this? They're holding on for dear life at this angle. They have 48 seconds to rotate. There's no time on the clock. Shiv's team is holding the low ground over on the right, and we'll see just how this plays out. Just spraying and praying. Got to get that shield down, but there's a limited amount of time. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The question here, how many Spitfire bullets does it take to get through a purple shield? I don't know. There's a lot of bullets. You can do the math on it. And there's the bubble, and he's going to queue back for positioning. Let's take a look how Taishin's going to cover this. Managed to clip him with a sentinel shot. They got to clean this up. They have 10 seconds. And if they don't clean it up fast, they're going to get gated before they know it. And there's the tactical queue right out. They're going to clean that up. Let's take a look if there's going to be any other fights. We got Alliance potentially here versus 789.
Enemy spotted.
See if he manages to get this drone out of the way. I don't think they're going to fight right away. They're in the zone. They're in the clear. And here we go with solo queue warriors waiting for this team to rotate in. This is going to be Scar's team rotating. Are they going to give them the real estate and the space? So they got the rat, which is what we expected. Now, are they going to allow Scars the rotation in? They have to be aware of them. This is going to be a cluster. Let's take a look at Scars, how they're going to handle this. They have two choices. They can go left or they're going to go right. Which way are they going to go? You're running out of time. You're running out of space. Actually, you're in here, so technically they can hold here. But then when the zone closes, it's only going to get worse. And there it is. Our current kill leader still is Shiv. He's got a nice Kraber in hand. Is he going to put on a show for us? He's got the most damage, close to the most damage of the lobby. He can definitely take a Kraber shot. And the Gibby Ball is about to disappear. And there is the Kraber shot from Shiv, cleaning up this roster down here. Second shot. Good Lord, Shiv, chill. Can you Netflix and chill? These people have families. They're just like you and me. They have families. It's the amount of disrespect that happened there with that Kraber shot. Just happened there, and there's a nice shot that happened from the opposite team of Alliance. It looks like it's Scars. We have 789 in the middle here of a sandwich. It looks like it's a sandwich, maybe made with ham, cheese. Not really sure. What are they making their sandwich with? And there's a nade. Look at that. Ooh, that amount of damage definitely hurt. 789 is definitely feeling the pressure, to say the least, and it looks like they're about to get knocked. Getting picked on from Alliance. Let's go over to Alliance POV. Making the push in, cleaning it up, and there goes pretty much 789. They're out for the count. C'est la vie, farewell. Somehow holding on for dear life here. Not really sure how that's happening. They have no angle. Waiting for the other team to pick on them. And now the zone is closing. Okay, so we're going to do, because all the teams have to rotate, I wonder if how Scars is going to handle the rotation right into... Oh, they're handling it with the Valkyrie ult. Okay. Where the heck are they going to go? Because there's no space here. Everything is rented and accounted for. They have height, so they're going to chill up there for a little bit, so we understand that there's not going to be a whole lot of action there. And Lions is rotating in from the south side. They got another team dead inside, is feeling very much alive. They don't feel dead. They're feeling very much alive. And Shiv's team has to rotate right behind. They do have the angle. And let's take a look. Is he going to put on another show with the Kraber? He does connect one Kraber shot, but now has to throw his Bangalore ult for cover. He's using it for shield. Big brain plays. Can he connect another? Just slightly whistled. He gave my man a haircut. Shiv is the barber of the lobby. It looks like Scars is rotating right back in. Can he connect this? Knocks him, and that's the cleanup they're looking for. They can recover. Let's take a different POV here. Let's take a look at Alliance, who managed to clear up a fight on the south side, which was 789. That was the rat that they managed to clean up. Let's switch back over to Solo Q Goats, just from the angle that they were located at. Again, Shiv has 8 kills. He's dominating this lobby. He's got the presence. He's Santa Claus. And trust me, the man has the beard like Santa Claus, and he's beautiful for it. Connects another Kraber shot, unless buying space where it does not exist. How long can they hold this? Scars is located right above them. They're a little low on resources. They have a little bit of resources there, but not a whole lot. Aqualix has the angle here, so we got a lot of teams to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. We have Dead Inside, we have Aqualix, we have the Solo Q Goats. There's a lot at play here. There's a lot of teams, so a lot of these teams, let's keep an eye on the kill leader. Let's see if he can put on another Kraber shot, because I'm pretty sure that's what you guys all want to see at this point. I didn't think that they were going to maintain their momentum based on the last round, but listen, they prove everyone wrong, and this is why they're the Goats. That's why they're the Goats. They have the best positioning right now, technically, as well as Scars from the high ground. So it's just a matter. So Aqualix holding that angle, Dead Inside holding this other one. And, well, let's just see how this all takes place. They're taking shots down below. They're aware of them. They literally have a beautiful spot, and we missed that sentinel shot. It looks like he managed to get a knock there. And let's take a look at Aqualix POV, because they look like they managed to clean that up. I do not think that they're going to get into a fight this early on. We'll take a look for solo Q goats. I don't think that they're going to. Yeah, they're going to hold. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything either. This is really going to come down to Aqualix. They're going to have to make a push.
Level 3.
So they're moving all of their swaps up. You saw all those swaps. Let's take a look to see if we can switch. Okay, it looks like that mopped up really quickly, which is expected. And now we have Aqualix. We have solo Q goats down below. We have Scars right up on height. Oh, and they're feeling that pinch. Let's see how they're dealing down below here. And they're going to have to shoot up. Oh, and they smoke him out. Oh my gosh, what a play there. Is it going to be enough? Can he stop them from pushing? And it looks like Scars does clean this up. Dead Inside is right inside. No pun intended there, trying to find their positioning. They have limited amount of time, tries to go for the R301 spray, but unfortunately may not be enough for this cleanup. Let's switch over to the POV here from Scars. Scars has every dominant spot right now, and Scars takes it. Beautiful play by Scars. You saw the big brain by Shiv, but unfortunately the focus just came onto them a little too hard. But they did have the right idea, the right intention there, and it really came down to who was getting picked on by who. So, a beautiful match, a beautiful round. So, pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Alright, so let's take a look at everything that's going on. See. Okay, so I got everything that's taking place. It just is going to be a little bit of lag for a second. I'm just trying to catch up. And then we're going to catch up with all of you guys in chat. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying what you see so far, because we're about to go into Game 4, ladies and gentlemen. Game 4. Game 4. Game 4. But don't worry, this will turn into a VOD. I saw somebody saying it looked a little blurry, so I apologize. It could be on YouTube's end, everything. I know a lot of people are saying it looks good, so we'll see where everything is going to take place. But yeah, Luminosity, like somebody mentioned in chat, Luminosity should definitely take notice. That team is definitely pop. And Noir, it's great to have you here. Apologize if it doesn't look clear. A lot of people are saying that it does. I'm not sure why it's looking like that on your end, so I apologize for that. But hopefully you're enjoying what you see. Okay, so once we get the next code, we'll be sure to hop on in. Here. I need to grab one thing, and then we can hop right back in, and let's break all this down. The games are heating up more and more, and the action is becoming very, very apparent. Very apparent across the board of what we're seeing. It's crazy. It's absolutely nutty what we're seeing. It's awesome. It's exciting. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Game 4. Game 4. But a shout out to everyone who is here. The Extreme Gamer, great to have you here. Pancake, great to have you. And yeah, it is a different stream, the one that's other. It's a whole different game. We're the only ones covering for, I believe, C and D. I could be wrong. If not, we definitely could shout them out. Make sure people are watching them as well. So, question, is it Shiv's beard of why he's popping off? Like, what does he have in there? What is... I want to know in chat, does anybody know what's inside that beard? Because that man popped off with 8 kills. It was an absolute psychopath. It's crazy on this level. And yes, I'm the... just for clarity, for anybody who's watching, I'm controlling the camera. I'm looking at the scoreboard, giving you guys the updates. I'm a one-man operation, one-man show. So I am the one kind of just moving everything around, trying to keep on the action and do everything that we can and keep the narrative and story going. And once everything is updated, I'll be sure to capture all the action for you guys. But yeah, Aqualix is doing well. A lot of these teams are doing well. I think everyone should be proud of it. It becomes very apparent pretty early on who's doing what. Okay, it looks like we caught up. Appreciate you guys for watching, for being a part. I mean, honestly, Shiv saying he became overconfident. I don't know if he necessarily became overconfident. I think he had the right play. He smoked it up, and I think he handled it beautifully. I think it was a beautiful play. I think a lot of teams are making the smart angles, smart plays, even with 7, 8, 9. They literally just held. They waited for the other two teams because they couldn't get the angle. It's crazy the brains that you see in terms of when they feel the pressure making the right decision. You know, it's crazy. It's exciting to see. All right, once the scoreboard is updated, we'll break it all down and we'll talk everything through. All right, so the scoreboard is being updated. Once it is, we'll break everything down for you guys. I mean, that was a clip right there, seeing Shiv just absolutely decimate and pop off. That was awesome. That was cool to see. Okay, stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. I grab myself some juice. 2 seconds. I didn't even need to stay long on that. I thought I had my juice in the other room. It was right here. You got to have a little bit of variety in terms of what you're drinking, right? Okay. All right, in just a moment, I'll be sure to keep up on the scoreboard. We'll talk about everything that we saw. It's like halfway through, so looking pretty solid, looking pretty good. And then we'll discuss who are the top teams. Every team should be very proud of their performance that they're having thus far. Even teams that don't feel like they're performing, it doesn't mean they can't make a comeback. Quite literally, one game in first place with like 6 kills boosts you up like 10 places. It's that high. It's not high up of a difference of what you can see. So I want it to be understood, the difference that it can make. So let's go into game 4. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Let's talk this through. Let's talk this through so you understand what you're watching. And when this becomes a VOD, we'll be sure to break all that down as well. So Scars right now is in first place with a total of 44 points. But Aqualix is not far behind them whatsoever. They're not far behind with 38 points. Second place is 789 with 28 points. And so the Solo Cute Goats in fourth place with 27 points. What's really carrying them here, as you can see, are the kill points. They got knocked out early, so if they didn't get knocked out early in the second round, this definitely would have been a lot better for them. But unfortunately, they did, and because of that unfortunate circumstance, it definitely causes some questions, right? They need to continue this momentum, though, to maintain it. So just to reiterate what you're saying here, Scars, first place, 44 points. Second place is Aqualix with 38 points. And then we have 789 with 28, Solo Q Goats 27, and the Fire Beavers, which was running low, but they had the first place before, but they just aren't having the momentum now. So we'll see if they're able to maintain that. And again, like we said, the teams that we follow and the narrative that we're painting changes very, very quickly. It changes very quickly. So just kind of understand that things can change within a heartbeat. The fights can change. Well, like you saw, we'll switch every which way, whatever is happening. But we're going to keep an eye on Scars, Aqualix, 789, Solo Q, Goats. Now, if somebody pops off and takes over the whole lobby, we'll be sure to change the action. We'll be sure to change what's happening. Like, Kick has managed to have some pretty solid kills, but they didn't manage to keep the momentum in terms of placement. Alliance has done really well as well. No pun, rhyming. I'm the Dr. Seuss here. With 25 points. All right, so let's go right back into the game. Game 4, already halfway through the tournament. Looking pretty solid, looking pretty sharp. And don't forget to leave a like to show your support if you're enjoying what you see. Seriously. Every little bit helps people find the stream. I'll be sure to put Europe in the title for the next one. I can't change it once the stream is going, so I apologize for that. We'll keep things going. Mastiff Metagon EVA requires a lot of skill. This wasn't true with Mastiff. Yeah, you got to keep it going with the EVA. That's a comment. Thank you for the reminder for water. I had juice here. So let me know in chat, who are you rooting for? Sorry, Noir, but sometimes YouTube does those things, but I'm glad that we're keeping consistent, at least, you know. I mean, when you go back, you can go back to the VOD. You can even click back. This is the beauty of having this on YouTube, is that you can click back very quickly. All right. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, you see, and I appreciate you, by the way. It's fun. I enjoy doing this. Like, this is a lot of fun. Hopefully it teaches you guys a lot as well from what you're watching. We'll only get better as I get a feel for the region. I usually cast APAC North a lot. I have casted Europe before, but now that I've kind of gotten a feel after the first round of what people are doing, it's becoming a lot more, not necessarily predictable, because people just do stuff on a whim out of nowhere, and you're like, why? What happened here? What's going on? But now we're getting the narrative more, and we're understanding what's happening. So somebody responded and said, that's what gives him his adrenaline. I agree with that, yeah. Listen, he talks about that. He talks about his chat and how they're all beautiful people and beautiful men and beautiful women. So respect to Shiv's community and people who are all a part of it, because they're all beautiful people. I've been in his chat. I know that he tells everyone that they're beautiful. But I don't think he realized that him and his beard are also beautiful. It's strange that I have the same amount of crafting materials. All right, so game 4. We'll get started here in just a moment. All right, I'm just making sure what happened in chat, if any of the refs were saying anything. Going into the next round. Looking at the time. Okay. You know the frightening thing is when you see Windows Update and you have it on delay, but you're scared of it. Put it in chat if you're scared of Windows updates. What's in the shop still ALGS bundles? Correct, yes. Game 4, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we're going to see. Just juice. Just a little thing of juice. If I drink too much water, I don't know if you guys, this happens to you. If I drink too much water, I feel like I get more dehydrated. Sometimes I have to offset it with, like, it's like putting a base versus an acid, you know? I don't know. Science. How does it work? Magnets. How do they work? ALGS. How does it work? It's a great question. How does the ALGS work? Well, it's what you're watching right now. Apex Legends Global Series Championship for Europe. All right, good luck, have fun. Here it goes, game 4. Game 4, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. Again, subscribe, because we're going to be back here Thursday, casting the day 2, which day 2 will be B versus D, and then we'll be here again Saturday for B versus C. And then the finals is going to be casted by Play Apex themselves on their official YouTube and Twitch channel. We're here to capture the groups because multiple groups are happening simultaneously right now. So it's why we have us here. It's why you should check out the VOD. I mean, it's the whole story of everything that's ALGS, you know, Global Series Championship. Okay. We'll see if anybody changes up their comp. Fire Beavers is sticking with Loba. I love to see it. Part of me is also rooting for Fire Beavers just to kind of see the meta shift. Kind of just something that just throws it in for a loop. But we're still looking at a pretty diverse group, which is awesome to see. And there we go, Scars. Let's see where they land. Let's follow them. So 2 seconds, you're going to see a bit of lag, and I apologize for that. I'm just pulling up some of my resources here that I have. Making sure I have everything set. So we go in, we turn on highlights, music, and let's keep a close eye, shall we? So Scars. Alright, so we got all our numbers that we're going to look at. I want to keep a close eye on Scars, Aqualix, 789, and Solo Q Warriors. Those are our top 4 teams. If somebody makes a play, makes kill leader, and we're going to switch POVs instantly. So, again, we have, excuse me, 789, doing quite well. Alliance, also well. Aqualix, Scars Europe, as well as Solo Q Goats. So, a lot of teams to keep an eye on. And of course, we'll keep an eye on Fire Beavers to see if how they're doing. There's a lot of teams to keep an eye on. A lot of teams. Let's see where the zone is going to pull. We should have that answer from Aqualix. Aqualix pulled is pulling on the north side. It looks like they're getting into another fight again. Deja vu. Is this the Matrix? All of you guys are Neo. Call me Morpheus. Oh yeah, they're here. Shiv's oh, look at that. Shiv's FPS are for I know his sensitivity is quite low, and then my man knows how to flick. He's got some arms on him. Let's see what kick is gonna do. Are they gonna get a kick in the rear? Are they gonna give him a kick on the rear? Are they gonna rotate? What's the answer here? Oh, they're rotating. They're trying to get to trials for. Oh no! Oh no! Oh wow! They both went for it at the same time. Let's switch over. A little bit of lag there. Apologize. I'm not sure what that was about. That flick. Look at that. He does get 2 cracks. They can make a play. Can they hold it together? And it looks like Diff, unfortunately, wasn't with the squad or backed out a little bit too quickly. And I wonder if there was a split in comms. But this is, for the solo queue goats, this isn't looking good. This is not looking good. But there is a team to respond, which is T-Rex. And there's a lot of people fighting for this. A lot of teams fighting for this spot. Unfortunately, doesn't connect anything with the G7. But they do have height, and there is one of the shots. Does it connect? He does not connect it. We saw it on our end. He probably didn't connect it on his end. Interesting, but we do have Diff. He could go for the banners. They are inside. They are dealing with a different situation. So can Diff go for these banners? He does have a jump pad. He does have a jump daddy. Does he throw down the jump daddy? Nope. He decides to, he does see the crypto drone. He could go back. I don't think he realizes. He doesn't realize. I wish I could tell him, just run back. You win these. You win these all day. Oh, he's going for the long rotation in. This was an early death for solo queue goats. And there is a fight breaking out inside. From the height, he's getting picked on. And they're trying to get that armor. Ooh, this could mean that somebody will drop down on them. Are they just going to let him have it? How much time does he have? He doesn't have much time on these banners. It looks like it glitched out for a minute. That is not the correct time. He's got 7 seconds, unfortunately. And there goes the first one. And there goes the second one. Unfortunate. I think if he went for it right away, he might have had an opportunity. And the Fire Beavers are going to respond here by flying over. Oof, gets hit pretty hard with the bow check bow. Escape, take a look at Alliance. They're doing quite well on the south side of the map. No fighting there. Aqualix, which is our second place team, you know, they're rotating in. They're finding their angles. So we got to keep a close eye on Aqualix and a close eye on Scars because those are our top 2 teams at the moment. So Aqualix is queuing right into the air. And they're queuing into a really rough spot. They're getting... I don't think they realize how many teams are inside and what they're fighting for here. I don't know if you've ever seen the Mega Man video game. What are we fighting for? It's really bad voiceover. It's really funny. Mega Man X. I don't know why I randomly thought about that, but here we are today. Burning Man. Hopefully just not like the actual Burning Man event. There's no space. It's very claustrophobic in here. They have gas. They have fire. All they need is water. And you got yourself a nice apartment. Wonder if they're going to engage. No other team has really fought right now. This is pretty much the next team that should fight. But they're not fighting. Scar's rotating in behind a team, behind 789. Can they pull it together? Can Aqualix pull it together here? They're pushing consistently in this building. They want this bad. They have given their permission. The question is the other team going to get permission for this push? They could open the door any moment. All you have to do is step through. The chances of opportunity, and there it is. Hitting him for a bit. Unfortunately, they see that he has gold armor. Let's take a look at Yuki and what he's going to do. Does he have his caustic ult up? He does not. Alliance is rotating from the south. They're not getting into a fight. Scars is rotating in. They're not getting into a fight. 789 is just kind of vibing and chilling. They're talking about how 789. Do we have any other potential fights? I think literally the biggest fight potential is with Aqualix pushing in, if they get the opportunity to do so. And there is a crypto ult. He unfortunately is unable to miss that, or dodge it. And here, oh my word, there's the cleanup right there from them. How are they going to respond? And they're just going to get shot from a distance, and that's pretty much it. DNMK really responded with a pretty hefty kick there. Kick now has the most kills in the lobby, pulling out a shotgun as if he's the Terminator. We're looking at Diff just kind of ratting it. Unfortunately, that's if you're curious what happened with that roster and what happened with that team. So with that, we have our new kill leader, which is a part of Kick here, with 3 kills, but it's not the most damage in the lobby, though. It's not the most damage. Most damage looks like it goes... Okay, let's see where the next fight is going to break out. We do have a rotation. We do have teams about to break out into a fight here. So you know why this is getting a lot easier? Not necessarily predictable. Is that the first round, everyone is just going like mad. It's just madness. You know, everyone's trying to like... People are like, oh, you're there? Why are you there? Now that there's a kind of a little bit of consistency, we're seeing constant fights break out. But it's just... There are always the questions we have to ask. Do they want to run into them? And when and why do they want to run into a specific team? I think Kick has been very aggressive this tournament. While they're not placing high, they are taking certain fights that are really putting them up. Let's take a look at Top Dogs. Top Dogs does have the high ground. Wonder if there's an opposing team called the Top Cats. I'll stop. We do have a potential fight breaking out. What's going on over here? What is happening here? There's a charge rifle. It's just a charge rifle in play that they're shooting from. Not necessarily any fights that are ego pushing at the moment. And what does it mean to ego push? It means you think that you're better than the other team, so you push them. I mean, you should be ego pushing. It's just kind of the term of endearment that the community has utilized. I'm only pulling at the map. I just want to make sure we capture the next fight that's about to take place. They are just kind of looting. It's perfectly fine. Dead inside. I want to take a look at their POV because I know they're on the south side of the map. I wanted to see if they're going to run into this team, but underrated is definitely underrated here, considering they have the high ground and they see the team over on the low ground, which is dead inside here. Feeling good, feeling alive. We'll see how it all shapes up. Any 2 seconds, you're going to see a bit of lag, so apologize for that. All right, 2 seconds. We're looking good. All right, looks like Third Impact is making a push. See how much of an impact they can have. They did bully the team up from height, and there's the bubble for the push. They got the Peacekeeper in hand. He's going to try to connect with the R301 initially here. They're just trying to locate the team. Trying to get his angle. He's getting shot from multiple angles. Ooh, a nice 180 there. Needs to clean this up quickly, though. Unfortunately, it's hitting now for the dreaded 18. And they do go out. Top Dogs has proven that they are the top dogs. They're getting shot from a different team from the opposing side. That is Kick picking on them from the low ground. Let's see where the next fight is going to break out. Potentially, we have ooh, nice 108 damage as we hop in from IPN. Literally frying and destroying. Gotta love the G7 Scout. Always popular among pros, especially in tournaments, for getting that initial poke damage. When we look at the map, we do see all the teams that are rotating, and we do have Underrated making a push here. Do they have the Rev Totem? They do. Could they make a Rev Totem push inside? They put the silence there to buy themselves some positioning. And who is actually in here? This is 789 inside the building with Alliance pretty close by. They do hear all the shots, and they do hear all the action taking place. There's going to be a lot of fighting here happening, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be able to capture everything because multiple teams are going to fight. It's just going to be a matter of who fights first. The minute we see it is the minute we'll switch.
I see an enemy over there.
Let's take a look at the kill leader. Top Dogs is currently... Let's take a look at the breakdown. Kick has the most along with Top Dogs. So we're seeing a different, evenly spread among teams. So the teams that the hardest rotation right now are dead inside. They need to rotate so they don't come up dead.
We could check out here.
They have the hard rotation in. We do also have another team, Morning Stars, rotating from the south side. Let's see if HLDC will Get the they do get the little bit of damage in, but they do get cracked, and all he has to do at this point is battery. Gets a little bit of wingman shots, is enough to get a crack. I think his teammate managed to get a crack, but another individual enemy has rotated on the right. Can he get the clean knock up? There's a little bit of damage with the wingman, but not enough to really make a massive play. We do have T-Rex. We'll switch over to that POV if we do see action. We do not. There were shooting some teams outside. He cues back. He's going to survive this, or should. And it looks like they're going to be okay. So no big worries there, but Morningstars is now rotating right up. They're trying to fight for this building. They have limited amount of time. They have... Oh, here comes the play. Not enough to make a crack. The play has changed. Gets a big solid spray. The Gibraltar's only looking to make sure they don't get rotated on. So any teams that are going to fight right now, and we do have Scars taking the height here. This is an important fight. They need to... Ooh, and there's the response with the Charge Rifle Charlie. One of the favorite guns, right? Am I right? Does everybody love the Charge Rifle? Everyone loves the Charge Rifle. Definitely a spicy meatball. See what they decide to do here. How they're going to find their spot. Realistically, there's space for both of them. But this town ain't big enough for the both of them. Or should I say high ground. There's a lot of respect occurring more in the lobby comparatively to the first round. Let's take a look at Alliance. Alliance is still kind of on the south side. They're just kind of chilling and vibing. It seems to be where most of the fighting is taking place. I know Kick is in a fight, but I also want to see RPRs making a play. There's the R99 intro shot. Luckily, they didn't take any damage, and now they got them pushed up at an angle here. Let's see if Manday's able to make a angle here. There's the bubble. RPR's taking point.
You're in their sights.
Has to be careful. Pops his Q just in case they make a push, but he's re-angling and repositioning. So their bubble is down. And they have got them stuck in a corner. There was definitely some initial poke, and it was a big curious play of how things were going to shape up. We do have a fight breaking down below against the top dogs. This is against Kick, by the way.
Bogey right here. Another bogey.
They have two whole different angles that they're holding. I'm surprised that they're able to kind of hold this with free real estate. And there's the fight. We switch back over to this just in time. There's the knock. And there's the cleanup. You know, commentators curse the minute you look away at something is the minute somebody breaks out into a fight. We do have Morningstars getting into a gunfight here. One knock on both end and both parties. He's trying to go for the knock to go for the armor swap. He gets red armor. And everyone is just kind of recovering here, but the bubble on the outside is down, and there is a scan. They are getting pushed from a whole different angle. Let's switch over to that POV and see what's going on, and they do manage to clean that up. All right, let's take a look, make sure any other fights that are breaking out. We do have a pinch here from Succubus being pushed by 789, but it looks like he got knocked, and they're trying to recover this. They could go back and fight, but I don't know if they're actually going to. If they're going to go try to res their boy, which it looks like that happens to be the decision. Kick looks like they're still kicking. They're still in this, so I apologize. I thought I saw that they got knocked, but they did not. They're trying to find their angle here. 789 looking pretty solid, looking pretty frosty. He's got his bubble up in 2 seconds, and I promise he's going to go for that res. He's got a limited amount of time here. Clock is ticking before his teammate goes down. And they're trying to pick on him. There's the bubble. Now that they know they're fighting, there's the bubble. Let's take a look at Succubus, how they're handling this. They no longer can pick on the team 789 from down below. And now it's a 2v3 situation with a team of 2 down below and a team of 2 up top, or a team of 3 up top. Take a look at Alliance POV, how they're handling it here. They did go for a solid cleanup, but there's another third party pushing them down below. Alliance needs to get this together, and it looks like they're just going to have to run away. So he is out, and there it is. And 789 does have the low ground right here, and they're looking pretty solid. Dead Inside came in for the cleanup. But the 789 is located right down below. At least they got the res. They're able to recover the situation. Like we mentioned, sometimes there'll be multiple teams fighting at multiple times. It's just kind of the unfortunate circumstance. Morning Stars is pushing right into this building here. All teams are still alive on both ends, all individual from the roster, but they're making their way and pushing in. He doesn't see him. Thought he was further up, but takes some entry damage there. See if he manages to hold it. The Wraith took a massive amount of damage. Who knows from what angle as they push up. Whiffs the Mastiff shot. The Mastiff shot has been whiffed. And it looks like Solo Q Warriors goes out in 14th place based on the kill feed. There they go. Can they have the movement? Movement like the Asu. Bounce off that zip. And right now, it looks like they're not instigating this. 789 has the low ground here. And they have to rotate in. Let's take a look. Okay, this is where it happens. Let's take a look at how they're going to hold them here. They have two teams to hold. This is Fire Beavers, who won the first game of the day, but has been kind of falling short just a little bit here. They're going to have the zone is going to close, and they have to push right into them. Actually, 789 is actually running into a whole different team right down below. So we'll hold on 789 because it looks like they're going to be the center of attention here. And right after, we'll take a look at who the current kill leader is. And there's the crypto ult to slow them out. But they get absolutely shot in the back. They're completely unaware of the roster that is located here. And there goes 789, not looking pretty good for them. Let's see how Dead Inside is going to respond to this. Fire Beavers has the ultimate angle here to hard gate everyone that's running in. You got nothing but Gibraltar ults, and they're just trying to find their spacing. They fly right in. And there's two bubbles right on top of each other. Looks almost like a little Venn diagram. But how many people are located in this? And the number NCD is shooting from a distance here. And now Maestro, apologize for mispronouncing their name, is trying just to recover. You have NCD who's got an angle here. They got a few kills to their name. Let's take a look who the current kill leader is of the lobby. And it looks like it is Kick with a total of 3 kills right now. They got 3 kills to their name. They have the decent kills there. Let's take a look at Scars and where they're looking. They have the height, meaning if they hold it as long as possible, then it's looking pretty good for them. We'll utilize the crypto as our information, as he does get wind of a team that's located nearby. They're scanning, and there's the crypto drone ult. It looks like Kick is going to push for this. They're going all in and getting them out. There's one knock. Trying to clean it up. We have a new kill leader. 4 total kills. And there's a cleanup. Scars has to be aware of the teams that are fighting, but then actually gets distracted there. And now we only have 4 teams remaining in the lobby, along with the team from the left side. So NCD is rotating, trying to find an angle here. Keep alive. Kick really has been kicking it in high gear here. We would manage to get that push and see everything that was taking place. And there it goes. Unfortunately, he fries him. That shot from the high ground. Okay, so the reason why I'm going to hold on Scars is that they're our first place team. If they wait properly, they have every opportunity to potentially win this. The team they have to worry about the most is actually Kick. So as you can tell from both POVs, from what we're watching, I switch over to Cyback. Cyback's got a gold magazine on his Spitfire. So Scars has not the best positioning anymore. They've already dropped. But they do have the Gibraltar ult. And there it is. How many shots are going to land here? Can they get an actual knock? And they're trying to connect, but Kick steals their kill. And there's going to be the cleanup. It looks like Kick really nailed this. They're the current kill leaders. We'll take a look at Denze and see if he keeps up this momentum. Considering he's been absolutely decimating the lobby thus far. He's going to pop a bat, and it looks like everyone is reset for the time being. He doesn't have his crypto ult in play. It looks like he already used it. Karakaja, can Kick win this round? That's a question for all the crypto fans out there. They're pushing. They know that they have a weakness over here. They're exposing their weakness. And the push has been stopped a little bit from the nice rotation from the Octane. As you saw, we got a 3v3 clean situation here. Let's take a look at their crypto. Everyone is batting. Everyone is resetting. It's feeling like an arena. I don't know if you guys have played the new arena mode. Definitely recommend you do it. And there's one flying in the air. Valkyrie getting a little bit of damage in on Jakku. He's unaware if he doesn't see him on the left. The minute he sees him, he's trying to pop his ult excel to see if he can get his ultimate. If he does, that's going to create a massive opening. 89%. Can they hold out for another 10%? 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. He's going to have the crypto drone. Fortunately, was not enough time. As we saw, the cleanup is definitely going over to Scars. If they held on just a little bit, he had 1 second. 1 second, he could have gotten that drone ult off. But unfortunately, this goes to Scars. I mean, they had the kill leader. They had the most kills. They had the momentum going. And that's why we're watching to see what they're going to do. And just was not able to keep it together. Whew, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying what you see. We're going on now to Game 5. Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Only got 2 rounds left of the day. Appreciate all of you guys for being a part and watching so far. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying what you see. And in just a moment, we'll break down the scoreboard from last round. So let's talk about last round. From round 4. And then once it gets updated, we'll talk about... let's see here. We'll talk about round 5. Okay, it looks like round 4 hasn't updated. And we'll kind of break down everything once it does get updated. Sure, we'll have an answer for all of that in just a moment. Okay, 1 second. Hit refresh. Let me take a look. Okay. So it's not updated yet, but it's okay. Okay, got all my stuff here. We're looking pretty good. And then once I get the next code, we'll continue to go underway. Appreciate all of you guys for watching, for being a part. Hopefully you're enjoying what you see. So if you're just tuning in, this is Apex Legends Global Series Championship for Europe. For Europe. All right. That was definitely a tough call. It was definitely tough. There's the next code. Okay, sorry about that. I had to just mess with something, mess with the setting, make sure it was all good. Got my next code. All right. And we're in. Okay, so next round, once the scores do get updated and we see everything kind of underway. For some reason, we're not seeing it. Let me see if I can find it on... Okay, so it looks like A is still happening, so the other group, by the way. So we might have a little bit of a delay on starting our next round here in just a moment. Yeah, once we get all these scores, we'll be good to go. Oh, it's almost updated. Let's go. Only one more, and then we're excited. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. Let me know what team are you still rooting for. Who you guys want to see on top? The Solo Queue Warriors, unfortunately, felt like they got griefed early on in 2 games. 2 games have they been griefed early on and trying to rotate. They just had the unfortunate timing. They literally just dove each other at the same exact time, trying to go for the zone. For all of you guys in chat, let's give a quick shout out for everyone. You know, Vlad, King, Luffy, Raph. I'm not sure if I called you already. Fade has incredible movement as well. Prime, it's great to have you here. Eric, thank you so much. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, Scars definitely had prime positioning. They had a hard spot, but the team just got picked on from both angles. I'm bad with a charge rifle when enemies have a charge rifle to ruin my... Alright, guys. Next round, let's do this. It's all being populated, all being updated. Let's take a look here. I think we're just waiting on Scar's score to be updated. And then we'll take a look and break everything down. So this is a great moment for everyone to grab a quick snack. Grab yourself a coffee. I'm going to go grab myself a little bit of water and stretch. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. 2 seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Let's come into game 5 here. And just remember, yeah, get up, walk around, stretch. It's important. It's important to get up and walk around and stretch. Let's refresh this and take a look at the scores, because it looks like right now we have Scars really running away with this tournament. They're doing very, very well, and they're keeping very consistent from the leaderboard, from what you can see. Right now, we have Scars at a total of 62 points. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal, especially when they started off a little bit slow momentum, but they got 2 wins under their belt. 2 wins. We have Aqualix right behind them. Unfortunately, they went out very early that last round in 20th place, and because of that, it definitely stopped a lot of the momentum. Fire Beavers has moved up substantially. This is a team with Loba, by the way. So we are seeing that Loba is able to make a dominant presence in ALGS. Fire Beavers is able to make it work. It's happening. We have Kick, because of their stand-up performance from last round. They have 13 total kills with 2nd place. That definitely boosts them high up with 33 total points in 4th place. We have 5th place with 789 with 32 points. And we have Alliance in 6th place with 28 total points. And of course, the Solo Q Goats in 7th place with 28. So you see Alliance and the Solo Q Goats are right neck and neck. As you can tell, they're really, really close to each other. So let's switch over to game 5. And we'll be underway in just a moment. All right. Don't worry, GG. I unfortunately missed the Kawhi Watson skit as well. Beryl, it's great to have you here, and thank you so much for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate it. Multi-elite. Crypto, right? Crypto? Crypto? Question mark, crypto? Okay, once A ends, I think A group is still going. That was a crazy game. That was amazing to see. It was pretty close. It got really in a cluster towards the end there, and it was really, really tight on spacing. So we have game 5 still, and we also have game 6 still remaining. Let me just position this microphone. All right. Sorry, just moving things around a little bit, making sure we are all set and good to go. So now that we're in game 4, or excuse me, game 5 and 6, we need to ask the question consistently, how teams are going to respond. I think we've kind of gotten a very good grasp and feel of the lobby thus far. So now we need to see how teams are going to respond to the call. We have Scars really running away with the lobby at the moment with 2 wins. At this point, all they need is just 2 consistent games and they'll stay on top. Now, are we going to see somebody really fight them for their spot? Are we going to see people aware? Because people know, where, as you play a lot of this game, you know where people land, right? You know where they land. It's me, Liska. We can explain it. Yeah, of course. First time seeing such a thing like Tournament Apex. Can someone briefly explain? Sure. And when we do so, we'll break down the scoreboard where we're at it too. So teams get all their points based on kills and position, meaning like when they were taken out in the lobby, essentially. So they got first place, which is a total of 12 points plus the amount of kills, and those all get added to the overall standing. Now, the way group stage works to remove kind of the RNG in terms of performance of just certain games, you'll see them face day 1, day 2, day 3, very much like other battle royales. But in this sense, it's always action packed. There's always something happening to a high level and a high degree. So we really need to see how teams continue to perform day after day. That's important. It's not just one stellar day and one stellar performance. You have to see how they continue to perform every single day, and then after the total points, the top 20 teams move over to finals. The top 20 teams. So you want to be in the top 20 to move on. And even if you get higher placement points, you get more points going into the next round. Okay. So right now we're waiting for the other group to get going in the next lobby so then we can be underway. I appreciate you, Ethan. It's great to have you here, and thank you guys all so much for the kind words. I'm glad that you're enjoying the tournament. If you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer everything. Get your break. I appreciate you. Yeah. I mean, these rounds they get pretty crazy. They get pretty crazy, and there's a lot of action taking place. And I got my water. I got all my stuff. I'm about to run out of water, so the next round I'll be sure to go take a little bit of a break. But be sure you stay here. Be sure you catch the action because there's only 2 more rounds. So we want to know who are going to be the standout performances of today. And right now, Scars. Scars is really performing. It's exciting to see. As well as Kick. To be honest, Kick is really kind of showcasing themselves as well. I think their biggest issue is not necessarily that they're afraid to take a fight. It just seems like the early matches, they got some kill points, but they were really struggling to maintain consistency on position. And Fire Beaver, while their placement is consistent, they definitely need higher kills. Because game 1, they had a lot of kills. They did really well. It's kind of maybe for them, it was unexpected. Okay, guys, so we're going to start in 3 minutes. If you guys have any questions at all, and I'll be sure to answer them. And where am I from? I grew up in Texas, lived in New York for a decade, and now I live in Knoxville. So I'm from the United States. I'm probably going to miss a Kawhi skin as well. I've been super busy casting, and I haven't gotten really a chance to play. It makes me really sad, because Watson is like my main, pretty much. Seeing the Spitfire and Flatline are pretty much a big weapon to see, mostly because of the mag and being able to consistently shoot. So yeah, that's a weapon you're going to see very much so in competitive. Surprisingly, before it was never really utilized until it got its buff, and now it just showcases dominance. I know it's got a bit of a nerf, but still. Let's see here. RE prefer R9 to hit shots. Yeah, it kind of depends. Sorry, just reading the chat. Thank you so much, Vlad. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Well, you know what's interesting, Estelle? That's a fantastic question. When pros have to deal with super high stress situation, a lot of comms, when there's stress, you will feel your body tense up whether you like it or not. A lot of these pros, well, it's like the best way to describe it is like a basketball player, right? You ever see them try to shoot a free throw and it's like something they're supposed to be able to do, like it should be like an easy thing to do, but for some reason they are struggling to hit a free throw? It's because of the tension. It's hard have all those eyes on you and having people watch you and know that the pressure is on to perform. There's money on the line. There's a lot on the line. And a lot of people tend to crumble under that pressure. It's why it's highly recommended to, reason why a lot of pro players tend to work out and exercise is because of this. Whenever you work out, you're putting your body through an immense amount of stress. And if you understand what it feels to be stressed, then whenever you're in a relaxed moment, you'll tend to perform a lot better. And so that's something to really be mindful of. You're always looking for a sense of calm, but I tell you, whenever you're in a top 3 situation, calm is probably the last thing that you are whenever you're fighting in these situations. Even if you say that you're calm. If you say that you're calm, you're most likely not in the moment. There's still some sort of pressure and there's something else you're thinking about. They call this as well when actors perform and they act and sing, is if you were told news right before you go on stage and it's negative news. It's like no matter what, that's going to be on your mind, and it's really hard for you to dedicate all your time into your performance. So just remember that. Some really good tips, and we talk about this a lot as well in my YouTube content here on the YouTube channel, because everything really just kind of adds up, right? Everything matters. Everything kind of takes place. Okay. Next game in. Let's do this. Ease yourself in. Relax. We got a big game here for you guys. Let's see if Scars maintains their momentum. We'll keep an eye on where they land. For some reason, I'm blanking where they currently land. But we'll take a look at it. All right. Let's see what Legends. I think Fire Beavers just stick with Loba. It's been working for them. I'm glad they haven't switched off of it. I wonder if the next day, on Thursday, if they're going to change that comp. But realistically, it's looked great. Okay, Taskmaster. You got yourself a fan, by the way, bud. I'm excited that the team's trying such new things. Top Dog is looking pretty good. See if I see any changes. Oh, looks like we're okay. All right. If we do, I'll bring it up if we notice anything. You know, Pico, I'm doing well. It's great to have you here, by the way. All right, let's take a look at Scars. Turn on those highlights. We're going to keep an eye on Scars because our first place is 62 points. Let's see where they land. It looks like they land Outlook. They hit the beacon there, and they have the rotation end. We'll see where they go. I don't think anybody's going to contest them. This is why it looks like they have most of the lobby for free. They just have to rotate. That's really it. Okay, it looks like Lobo's landing, it looks like, in the sorting factoring area. And Scars looks like they're handling a... looks like they're splitting No Name as well. I've seen this strat utilized many times before, especially in APAC North, where you land No Name. So No Name, what I mean when I call it No Name is that this doesn't have a name to it. But there's still a lot of good loot here, but it doesn't have an actual name. Which probably is like the sign for a perfect town takeover, honestly, if I were to guess. Usually no-name areas have that type of thing. So we see a drone coming over from Crypt here. So we scan the beacon. It's pulling towards tree. This is going to be a tree ending. So my prediction is going to end like right here. I've seen this happen many times. If it doesn't end there, no, it's most likely going to end there. Honestly, I've seen it end there way too many times. It has to end there.
Let's explore this way.
Unless they throw me for a loop and they pull on the north side, that's going to be weird. Let's see if Solo Q Goats, they managed to get trials this time around, uncontested. So that's good. Nobody's bothering about Pier. 2 seconds, let me make sure we are all set. Just make sure audio levels are good. So I apologize for the lag that you're about to see, but everything is all set and we're good to go again. I'm just making sure. Just testing. Well, we have a moment. And Shiv lasering it down. I like the fact that we see a Bangalore utilized for strong rotation. The Octane is there for the jump pad. And give me that gold loot. And there it is. It's crazy. I almost pulled out my inventory as if I was Shiv just now. I was like, oh, look at that bag, you know? Okay, they got one more fight here. Let's take a look. Is there any kill leaders? Any fights? Anybody? Any 50-50s? No 50-50s? No 50 cents? Everything is good? And right now, every team is kind of going through the rotational pattern. So one thing to really keep an eye on that most teams do, and if you're new to Apex Legends that a pro will do, is that at the start of the round, think of it like a play, like a movie. At the start, everyone lands a certain spot, and you have a certain predetermined amount of time. It's like speed running a video game. You have to get through as much loot as possible because every second can matter in terms of making a rotation. If a team ever hesitates out in the open, is like, where do we go? That's time lost in getting into the zone or a optimal position. Sometimes you can luck out and have that rotation mean that you just miss a team. But that's not always the case, so it's important to be careful with your rotation and be efficient and be fast. If you're not fast, then, well, you're going to be struggling.
Check out this way.
Of course, no worries, bro. I appreciate you, buddy.
Let's go here.
So if you ever see them, oh, speaking of sorting factory, Aqualix, question mark? Fighting sorting factory? He's trying to snipe. He looks like he got one knock. Gnask making a pretty big play here with the R301. He tried to take out the Peacekeeper. And they do have an angle there. He's going to reload his R301 and see if he can finish it. They finish him at the angle, which is good, but it looks like they're going to... Look, they got thirded. Top Dog just showed up from right behind, and they picked on him. Oh, Loba's team is rotating up.
Gonna hover around here. Defend this quadrant.
They're going to find their spot in. The next fight that's breaking out over here is by Underrated. That's pushing the building over here. So they did get a knock on the resin. Can he get there in time? Get ready, chat. Can they get there in time? And they do. They get another knock, and they add some silences. The knock is happening. He's trying to clean it up. He does a little bit of 21 damage. Just try to finish it, and he gets sent back. It's a hard about casting over a Revenant is the constant getting... I just got flashbanged. You know, over and over and over again. And unfortunately, they did get them. Taskmaster's team now has replaced that roster. And there is another fight breaking out from Insiders from down below. Alternator, stable in terms of recoil, but not stable in terms of constant DPS over the R99. So they have them. They're going for the res. Can he push him fast enough? He's trying to get around the corner, run around with a PK. Charging up a shot. Re-knocks one. Can he get a second? Unfortunately, whiffs. Did he hit him? It looks like he hit him for 25. There's the crack. Tries to finish up the knock. Unfortunately, does not. Let's take a look at FB's point of view. If they're able to really keep this together. And it looks like they're really not. Aqua Alliance is also pushing on a different angle. And FB is going down. So I switched POVs thinking that we're going to see something else occur. But it looks like we're not. So that's interesting. Thought another fight was going to break out. This happened last time. This literally happened last time where everyone was fighting for buildings. It seems like with Europe, everyone really likes to fight for buildings early on and push people out, which is very different from APAC North altogether. The fights really actually break out here, which is kind of crazy to see. You don't see that sometimes in other regions, and even when I casted Europe before, they didn't do this. This seems to be a different meta and change where if there's a team in the center, you just bully them out and push them out as fast as possible. So now everyone's kind of stable in their spots. Not any shots are taking place in the lobby. Let's take a look who the current kill leader is. It looks like it's Oculus with 2 total kills. Let's see how Scar's doing. I know we haven't given them a lot of airtime at the moment because they've just been rotating. They have no damage. So don't worry, you haven't missed anything. 0 damage to their name right now. Which is okay. They're rotating. They're finding their spots. They're finding their angles. Shiv's team is definitely holding out in the zone for the long term here. And my gosh, do they have a long rotation. And they do not have a Valkyrie to speed that up whatsoever. Alliance here still holding it together. They do have the choke here. Dolphins team has the height. And then down below is held. Oh my gosh. He got hit just a little bit. Only for like 23 damage. Maybe 27. Looks more like 27.
Let's go here.
Scars is rotating in. I've actually seen it pull over on the right too. Sometimes in tournaments I know they could pull in new zones, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a new zone. And Taishin leveling up his armor. 1 more hit. 2 more hits actually. He needs 1 more hit for that G7 just to level up to blue. Ooh, and there it goes. Leveled up his armor. He's on his way, but he doesn't have the most G7 shots available. And this poor Octane all alone in the world right now in the center. There's caustic barrels, and I don't think anybody's inside though, so he might just kind of, you know, make this his new little happy home. So Taishin leveling up his armor again. He's got a few shots. He's probably got the most shots in the lobby, and we do see Badali go down. Some shots there, picking on NCD. So Scars, it seems like Scars and Alliance are doing the most amount of damage right now. We're holding the minute we see them engage, because it's going to happen. The zone is literally closing right now. So who's caught out? Is TD's caught out? Potentially, no. It looks like everyone's got space. I mean, just so you, as an FYI, solo queue goats, my gosh, they have a long rotation before they get in. So look at that zone. This is going to hurt. Are they going to die to zone? I don't even know if they're going to make that, to be honest.
Go this way.
The zone hurts. And they have so far to go. They need to leave like right now. So I don't know if they're actually going to make it in. I don't think this is a game where they can afford one more of those type of games to go out early. And if Kick, because Kick is on the outskirts here, we'll see how they manage to rotate. So just a reminder, we're in Game 5. We have one more game underway for Apex Legends Global Series. We got Crypto in the sky, highlighting everything for us. Bring out the highlights. And right now, the goal is to predict where the next fight is going to break out. Because, I mean, there's a lot of tension here. Everyone is holding but afraid to push. I'm not really sure how they're going to handle this. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Literally, that's literally all the time. And then everything is going to get overwhelming. Let's take a look at Taishin's group. Seems to be taking the most amount of damage in the lobby. And they're also dealing out the most amount of damage. He just needs a few more shots to level up his armor. He needs to be careful at what cost, because it's not like he has the most amount of light ammo. He's only got like 30 bullets left. We do have one fight. Why did they push this? What a push! That was surprising. That's an early push if I ever saw one. They utilized the Rev Octane push again. I don't know what to think about that. I would say that's definitely frustrating for that team to deal with. I didn't even predict that was going to happen. Usually when there's a push like this, there's always a third party, but they cleaned that up so fast. It was within like, boom, like seconds. I would literally have to have been on them. They pushed and they cleaned it up. I saw the knocks and went over, and before I knew it, they were gone. That was it. So Oculus, switch over to Oculus POV.
This way.
Oculus is in a gunfight. And they knocked him through the grenades and through the wall here. And Dolphins team looked like they got a knock on Alliance, which will have to switch back over to the POV on Alliance, but they're not going to push him. They're going to try to recover. I don't think this team is going to get pushed. So let's go over to Alliance and see how they're going to recover this. Oh, they're not going to push either. Are they going to engage? What are they going to do? There's a second shot. It's a re-knock from Dolphin. Let's take a look at Dolphin. So Dolphin has himself a Kraber. So Dolphin is putting on a show, and I guarantee you guys want to see if he's going to land the next Kraber shot. The next Kraber shot was just him re-knocking. He misses that, but are they going to disengage on this? He needs to reload his Kraber. He's got one more shot back on it. Only one person has gone out in the lobby, and they're going to rotate. He's going to look on his back and see. He's got a few shots in that Kraber. Can he put on a show for us? That's really the question. And I don't actually quite know. And there's a respawn beacon from Alliance, and they're going to go right around the corner and go peek on this. There could be another fight breaking out. There could be. I hear the nades down below. They did get one kill point out of this, but can they stick the res? And once they see that line, you'll see the line. It'll shift once it's being res. There it is, 145. Nice shot by G7 Dolphin. A killer with the Kraber. There's only one more individual left alive from that squad. Alliance is really struggling here. Going out in 16th place is not what they need for these points. Can he land this? He decides not to take the shot. So they're going to reposition. He does have himself quite a few Kraber shots. It looks like Alliance has gone down. They managed to third them. And it looks like, wait a minute, Shiv's team is rolling up on a roster here. So they are running up. And from the zone, they managed to rotate all the way from God knows what. They went from the North Pole, and now they're almost at the South Pole. Quite literally, they went from one part of the map all the way to the other side. They have been on a journey. So they're in a constant firefight over here. Just nonsense going on. They need to rotate. They got 2 minutes. So if we look at the POV, where the action is taking place, is mostly going to... Yeah, honestly, that's where all the action is going to take place. We do have a potential fight breaking out over here, and I will remove the map. Just want you to understand where everyone is at right now. They got a minute. Kick is right next to them. They're enemies, pretty much. They've literally been running into Kick most of the time in this lobby. I'm keeping an eye on them because they have to rotate. They're going to run into a team. It's inevitable. Every other team right now is just kind of chilling. So when are they going to take that jump pad? What are they going to do? Let's take a look, just so you're aware of the teams, just so you have them in mind.
Got an enemy out there.
NCD's making a push. They're going for the building in here. I'll switch back over to them. Is there space in this building? There is, so they may not actually go for a fight. Shiv has taken a massive amount of damage. He has to reset. And they have to push. They have 58 seconds to make a decision. They can push forward, push into that team. They can wait for the team to rotate. There's a lot of what ifs right now. And then when we look here from NCD, they do have height, and they are looking here. Let's take a look at the Kraber shot. Can he land this shot? See if he manages to connect it. He does have an angle, pretty close. Switch back over, because 30 seconds are remaining. If he sees him jump again, he sees him at the door. He could wingman that door. Oh, they're looking to push. There's a scan. Getting the intel, getting the information. So switch POVs back. 2 solo queue goats who's decided to push over to the left. We need a springboard between these two teams. I know Scars is in first place. We'll be sure to give Scars some of the love in a moment. But right now, they're in height and they're comfortable. So I don't think they're going to move. So looks like solo queue goats has definitely done a hard rotation in. Are they going to be able to find their spacing? And it looks like they have for the time being. And they're hard pushing on. NCD is making sure that they can push them out of this building. They're going to have to deal with them in a minute. No matter what, they have to deal with them. But if they can get a Kraber shot, it's over. So I'm switching over to solo queue goats. They have the zone. They're probably going to get into the fight. I don't think that NCD is going to get into a fight here, but we'll see. And there's the crypto ult. Fortunately, I don't think they have time to move. They're definitely feeling the pinch. They have teams to the left and right and also in front of him. There's the ult back. At least he can pop his battery. This zone is going to hurt. This is not going to feel good. They're going to get picked on. They're smoking it up as much as possible. The bubble has gone down, and it looks like solo queue goats is going to be down for the count. So NCD has not decided to push. Let's see where the next team decides to push. Scars has height. Top Dogs is down below. So keep a look. NCD did decide to push. It looks like it was because of the Revenant. One has gone down. Bodaldi is trying to recover here. They're coming right back in. Are they going to be able to get that res? They are burning them, which is good. G7's trying to reposition, trying to find his angle. They are running up. They're just full sending it. One has gone down. And now it's up to Dolphin to try to clutch this out for his team, and unfortunately has gone down to underrated. The push from the Octane Revenant has been making a massive play in the tournament for today. Let's switch over to Scars. Let's take a look who the current kill leader is at the moment. It is underrated. They have the most kills in the lobby. We do have one team that is getting into a firefight. Up here, it's Morning Stars. This fight kind of happened in the angle over here. So it was happening simultaneously in the kill feed. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get here quick enough. And they did get third party. He's going for the swap. And he's going to pop his Q and try to get away. But there's no way at this point. He's definitely dead. They're going to be finishing him off. And somehow they managed to not see him. What is going on from HLCD? They do see him. They should push on this, and this should be the cleanup. We'll switch back over to Scars POV once this fight is cleaned up here. And there it is. So Scars does have height. They are pretty close to being in here. There is some shots taking place from Kick. T-Rex, and they see another Kraber shot from the other angle here. Let's see if they manage to clutch this out. There is a Valkyrie Q out in play. Doesn't connect much damage at all, if any. They do have an angle here. Jakku has to recover. They are picking on the Valkyrie, and the Valkyrie is down, and the push is coming in from the PK. Does manage to clean it up. One is down from their team, and it's just a matter of how fast they can recover this before another team rotates in. The Revenant is pushing. He is almost cracked. Utilizing the shield for cover. 99, and there's a cleanup, and Kick is looking pretty solid. HLCD is rotating in, is unaware of the team from Fire Beavers on the right angle here. The Loba has still been making a play. They are in the center of the zone. They're utilizing the flatline and the Eva. The flatline has been a very meta gun. There's a bubble forward to make sure they have their angle, and they're in a constant bubble fight here. Once that bubble goes down from the enemy team, it's going to spell... Let's take a look at Taskmaster. Taskmaster has already been trying to fry, getting a lot of damage. Has 1,300, now 400, popping off. And now the cleanup is there. They do not have the bubble. They go down, unfortunately, and the Valkyrie is the only one left standing. They're getting pushed. He gets a crack. Unfortunately, he's now only one left standing in his squad. The Loba is down from their roster. So all they have to do, he's just trying to buy time, and unfortunately it's just not enough, and Kick picks on them from a distance, taking the new kill leader of the squad.
Guys here. We've got company.
So total 4 kills. A Kraber has been pushed into play. That's not looking good. They reciprocate with an ult from the Gibraltar. Let's take a look at who's got the Kraber. He's got 4 bullets left in it. And the ult does go down. Should be able to clean this up with the Eva as long as it doesn't land another 7. If he lands another 7, he might as well play slots at this point. He's gambling. He's gambling with his life. And all they got to do is recover. T-Rex is showcasing that dinosaurs are not dead. And there's a nice armor swap. They're looking pretty good. Not too bad. Let's take a look at Scar's POV. Scars is still in this. They have only a few kills. But again, remember I said Scars just has to keep consistent. That's all they need is a consistent placement. That's all they really need here. Scars is rotating right behind. About to rotate onto Kick here. Let's see how Scars decides to push this building. This will be their first push of the game. And they're shooting at the angle, just keeping constant cover fire. The bubble has gone out, meaning it's not there for rotation, so they popped it early, knowing they do not have the utility anymore. Kick has an angle, Scars has an angle, and they're located right in the building.
Contact with hostile.
Scars is really pushing it here. They're in the open. They're trying to figure out what spacing they do have, and they do have the building right here, which is good. So it means that they're not going to fight. We have 4 teams. This may end up to be the zone, or nobody... that we're not going to see a whole lot right now. But the pressure from everyone is going to be real. Let's take a look at Kick. They have leveled up to all red armors now. We take a look at the various teams here.
Let's check out this way.
4 teams. T-Rex, ALGS,
Hostile over there.
Kick, and Scars.
Let's go this way.
Scars really has very minimal space to play. They could pop the ult, but it would be a little bit too early to do so. Let's take a look. Who technically has the most kills? It's claiming that Mandate does. Let's take a look on the lobby currently. Kick's roster currently does. So we'll take a look at Kick's POV.
Move this way.
28 seconds and then the mayhem ensues. You know what we're going to do? Let's keep an eye on Scars because their current first place is 62 points. So we want to know when they go out from the lobby. I think that's important for you guys to see. We're going to keep an eye on RPR since he is the Wraith. So he's going to entry frag. So let's see what he does. When we say entry frag, hopefully not get shot first. That early. They do have port. They have the option. There it is. Just as we say it, they do it. He's got an angle right here, and they could climb up to height, but they are going to get picked on from multiple angles and multiple teams. He lays down a lot of R99 damage there. The team has rotated down. We'll hold on Scars here. Again, because if they go out, which they're going to potentially go out here if they're not careful. I'm not sure how they managed to hold this together. Look how low the Gibraltar is. He's literally 1 HP in a dream. And one has gone down. He is able to recover, and now all they got to do is just hold for dear life, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep it together. We'll switch over to the POV from T-Rex, as T-Rex is actually really popping off here. T-Rex is doing quite well, maintaining their damage and momentum. They hit for the infamous 7 damage over and over and over again. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Is this new math? I'm not quite sure. You put together a big spreadsheet, a big square box, and call it new math. What is everyone learning these days in school? Hitting for 7 EVA 8 shots over and over and over again with new math. It's impossible to learn. Perhaps if they learn old math, they could hit a solid EVA 8 shot, right? Solid memes. T-Rex has a high ground, and they're getting pushed. And there they go. They look like a Dragon Ball Z fight as they're falling up from the air. It's Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta. It looks like they all went down. And the team from down below, Kick, is trying to keep it together, but goes down, and Aqualix takes the win. Aqualix was just handed that victory the minute they jumped up from there. Good solid game. We're going to game 6 now. Pretty good. Crazy round. Oh, wow. I appreciate you guys all for watching. We'll be sure to catch up everything. We've got to break down the score. We literally only have one more round left for the day. And then we are good to go. I'll post up where the current leaderboard is located. This is what I have been using from Liquipedia. Give me 1 second. It's going to lag for a second, but I'm trying to get... Two seconds, ladies and gentlemen. I just need 1 moment to kind of set things up. I want you guys to have it in chat. Alright, let's pull up Europe. And let me grab this here. And day 1, round 5 is being updated as we speak. There's multiple rounds going on at the moment, but it's important to know it's I'll just have to update you guys here in just a moment. We'll discuss the breakdown of the scores. For some reason the link just isn't populating there, but we'll discuss it. We'll break it down in just a moment. And if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave a like. Alright, once the score is updated, we'll talk about that. We'll break it down, and then we'll go into the final round of today. Okay. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. If you're just tuning in, don't worry. I will post all the VODs. I'll make sure that you guys all see that it's a VOD and everything, and I'll timestamp the game so you guys have everything at your disposal. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying yourself. Ask questions in the chat. Let me go through chat and we'll engage with all of you guys, making sure that you guys feel a part. If there's any team you guys want to see, just let me know. Alright, let's see here. I will link this over. This is what I'm using. I believe it's, let's see here. Okay. Alright, once the next code is up, we'll get right into the action. Big game, ladies and gentlemen. Scars had a consistent performance there. So what we really need to see is Scars just have one more consistent performance and they'll pretty much take first place of day 1. Aqualix had a really stellar game there, so that's going to definitely boost them up and we'll see a better score. Alright, so with B, let's update this and let's hop right in and we'll break down the score in just a moment. Alright, let's catch up with chat, shall we? Last game. About to start. Alright, last game. Alright. As Matthew McConaughey would say. Kicks are griefing. Yeah, honestly, they shouldn't. What was that crosshair flicking? It's just a little bit of a spectator glitch. Just a spectator glitch. Okay, so I'm in the group. Alright, let's catch up with what you guys think. Yeah, Scars is really acing it. And T-Rex, their team there, I would have switched over to it, and they got some good Kraber shots. They got some really good plays. And Dolphins had some pretty good Kraber shots as well. Just have a hard rotation. Yeah, there's in some circumstances, it's really hard. Like Shiv's roster had one of the hardest rotations there. One of the hardest rotations. It's just tough. I mean, they came in late as well. I mean, you either had to fight for early zone and then not get a whole lot of points, or, you know. I had everything updated. We'll take a look at the score. We'll talk about how Alliance is doing as well in just a moment. Yeah, and Dolphin is TSM's coach as well, but he plays in Europe, which is a different region. APAC South already been going. Yep. If you, I have APAC North uploaded to the channel. So if you're curious on how those days are going, the last day is happening this weekend. I believe it's on Sunday, which will be casting it. I mean, there's a lot of people with controllers. Just as I saw the question from Gerardo. So yeah, there's a lot of people. Is this crossplay? Not at the moment. You have to be on PC to join into the servers, but there has been discussion. I know that the competitive Apex team has tweeted out that it is coming, which is going to be really big. We're going to see a lot. It's going to be even more people competing. Loot for days. Or you could say loot for Daz. Some people mispronounce my name and they call it Days. But it's actually Daz. Bob, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Who is CEO? CEO of Apex? Don't think so. Said he's got an org, so I'm not sure who CEO is. How old am I? I don't know. I'm 6 years old. I'm just kidding. Alright, so it looks like I caught up with everyone in chat. I thank you guys all so much for being a part so far. Engage in chat. Let me know who you guys want to watch. If there's somebody specifically, let me know. Type it in chat so I can cover. Leaderboards are updated. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Oh, somebody mentioned it. Okay. Let's take a look at the scoreboard now. So the last game, the last scoreboard, the last game of the day. Once it's all updated, I'll be sure to download the VOD. I'll send it. Make sure to timestamp it so you guys can see everything. Okay, so the scores have been updated from what you're seeing here. So in round 5, you know, Scars did really well. They had fourth place with 2 kills. The scores for Scars is 69. Aqualix 56 points, Kick at 51, Fire Beavers at 41, and 789 and 35. So Aqualix could catch up to Scars. They need just one more solid performance. If Scars goes out early, which I don't know if they're going to, they have a really smart and nice rotation. So with Aqualix here, we need to make sure to see how they're going to rotate and how they're going to position and what they're going to do. So we have Kick. Kick has their positioning at a total of 51 points. And then Fire Beavers right down below at 41 points. All right, ladies and gentlemen, going into the next round in just a moment. All right. Matthew McConaughey here casting Apex Legends. I can't do a Matthew McConaughey voice. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I know what you guys are doing. You guys are watching, hopefully leaving a like and subscribing, so then we can get into this next round. Don't worry, just as long as you're enjoying the stream and watching, I really appreciate it, guys. Just as a reminder, if you're watching, I am controlling the camera. There's a 5-minute delay, and we're capturing as much action as humanly possible. Who's leading right now? Scars is, with a total of 69 points. Just as much as the triple take hits. All right. You kind of remind me of Big Ed. I'll take whoever I remind you of. Now I have to go look up who Big Ed is. Big Ed Pizza? I don't think it's a Big Ed Pizza. Big Ed? Alright, whatever. I'll take whatever I can get. Sometimes you just gotta take those, right? You know who you remind me of? You remind me of Brad Pitt. Yeah, Tai Sheen has been really popping off. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the kind words. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying what you're saying. Final match, ladies and gentlemen. Final round of the day. We're about to get started here in just a moment. We're missing just a few more people to reconnect. And I think, okay, lobby 6 is up. And then we'll get started. Okay. What I'm going to do, I need to go to the washroom really, really quick. So I just need 2 seconds. I'm going to go AFK, and I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back just in time for the game to start. Look at that. Came back just in time. Okay. Let's make sure that we have everything we need as teams are selecting their characters and their legends. Let me make sure the microphone levels are good. They are good. Make sure the lag doesn't go away. We are all set. Appreciate you guys' patience. And we'll be good to go. Round 6, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. All right, we're following 789 right now, but here we go. Last round of the day. Hopefully you guys are all excited. Hopefully you guys are all ready. All right, all right, all right. All right, we have teams all landing. We'll keep a close eye on Scars as well as Aqualix. I think those are going to be our two big teams that we want to keep an eye on. They're our first two top contenders as well as Kick. We'll need to keep a close eye on Kick because they've definitely been fighting quite a bit for their positioning and their spots for the game. They've definitely been contesting consistently solo queue goats, which I know that definitely a lot of fans of solo queue goats because Shiv, you know. I know people are also fans of Diff Q and Zepith. But we're looking at the fact that we're having a lot of teams fighting for a lot of positioning. And they've been landing very close to each other, as you can tell. You see landing very close with a team just located right near them. Kick has decided to kind of run away from the situation to kind of reposition. His buddies are pretty close by, but they got to be careful not to overextend on this. So they have to be very careful in their positioning. Who's part of Aqualix? Who are the players? So Aqualix roster. Oh, hold on. We need to keep an eye on this. We got a very close round. Very close in terms of positioning what we're looking for. The Aqualix roster, when we can pull it up in just a hot second, we got some pretty intense fights already happening. And Shiv's team's already getting decimated from Kick. They are definitely giving them a kick in the rear for this round. Jeez, they got to be very careful. And by the way, shout out to all of you guys. If you're enjoying what you see, leave a like. You're all beautiful people. I love you all for watching and watching all these amazingly talented players do all well. Everyone should be proud of their performance that they have so far on the server. And they're rotating over. They are getting a little bit railed, but they're going to be pushing. And there's the potential Octane jump pad to circumvent their distance. We'll see if they actually decide to Octane jump pad on this and what they're actually going to do. And they are going to give them a little bit more respect, and they are going to back out from that fight. So this finally gives solo queue goats the ability just to kind of take trials and have the rotation when they need it. They are taking height, making sure that they aren't going to grief them. And here they go. Kick has been really hard on solo queue warriors this tournament. I have to say, this is... You don't see this a whole lot. You know, I've cast a lot of APAC North before. It's very rare. I think I've saw it once with Fennel and another team, but seeing this consistent of a fight happening between a team and roster, this is pretty tough. They're not giving them any room to breathe. They're showcasing that they want them out of this lobby. And I can understand, I wonder if this is going to spark any debate or controversy where we're going to discuss why were we constantly getting picked on or pushed. Because they're constantly having to battle this out. And now the fact that they're getting cracked and they cannot fight for trials here, which is one of their rotations. I mean, Kick has definitely played aggro. It's not like they're just aggro on them. They're aggro across the server in general. They have just chosen this early fight, and this is one of the most early fights. There is a team that is out, Morning Stars, but we've definitely been keeping an eye out on this because are they going to go out early? Unfortunately, yeah, Morning Stars is out. So this is Game 6. Game 6, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning in, once this becomes a VOD, which is a video on demand, you know, the video afterwards, we'll be sure to timestamp and everything. We have a bit of a stalemate happening here. This is getting pretty close. I don't know. Oh, there's the crypto drone. Unfortunately, they do get hit, which means they are going to push. Can the solo queue warriors stop this push? Shiv rotates and flies right in, but unfortunately, it's a massive versus a flatline, and he does go down. They now have a 3v2, now a 2v2. He's trying to reposition, trying to get a different angle. Zeppa taking the Spitfire right into play and knocks him. Now they have a 2v1. They do have to recover and be very careful in this fight. So unfortunately, Shiv has gone down, but they can recover this. Kick definitely got kicked in the pants there. They're trying to go back for the drone to recover their banners. Are they going to shoot him in time? Oh, he managed to get only one of them. So he didn't get two, but he did get one. So it's like McDonald's. I mean, this isn't McDonald's. You can't have it your way. And you can't get the 2 for $1 deal. Unfortunate. But listen, now they're most likely going to push over and fight for that res. I wouldn't be surprised if they push back. That level of disrespect this early on in the lobby, there has to be definitely that fight. And everyone right now, let's take a look at this POV here. We have the beavers, the fire beavers, fighting for spacing here. Just so we're capturing all the action that's taking place. No knocks, nothing has taken place quite yet, but we'll have to see where that all happens. So it looks like they're going to give them the respect and the space that they need right there. We do have Scars, who's got an angle here. Scars definitely has to push into this building. They don't necessarily want the outskirts, and they want to have that real estate there. And I wonder if they're going to get the real estate space that they need and they deserve. This is a team that's performing very well. I mean, they're sitting at a comfortable 69 points. So 789 is very close here to Aqualix. Let me take a look at Aqualix. They're very close to them, but unsure if they're going to push. They can't really push Aqualix. And Aqualix has 56 points. If they get some solid points and kills to their name, they're going to do quite well. So it looks like they managed to get the res. Now there's a 2v2 situation with a solo queue Goats versus Kick. So I'm not really sure why they're full committing on going back and forth on this. They do have a long rotation in. This is not going to be an easy rotation. Alliance is flying in right now, and they're going to contest here on this fight. Let's take a look at Vafes, mostly because he's going to be the one to make a play, or is he going to rotate? They're rotating out, so they're not going to fight this. But there's the port, and they're going to try to get to zone. But with this, remember, with the squad that's down below, they are about to run into beavers. Not just 2 angry beavers, but 3. 3 angry beavers. And because of that, let's take a look at Alliance. They should see the ult, and there it goes. They know that his team is now there. So that Loba ult just gave them the information that they needed to know that there's a team nearby. Things are really starting to heat up in this lobby, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely getting intense and getting pretty close. The last round of the day means a whole lot for everyone because it's going to lead into day 2, which is very, very important.
Say we move this way.
So Scars is just holding their angle waiting. You got the Fire Beavers. They're going for rotation, and they do get shot out of it, which is not good. So that occurred over from Alliance. So Alliance now has an angle here. So there's a Gibby ult. Unfortunately, that Valk ult definitely worked against them. Switching a POV to IPN, who just gets the scan out. They did get a knock, and now they have to make a play. Unfortunately, there's a team right above, so they may actually just back off from this. They are also getting shot in the back. He manages to track down that bot. This is definitely getting pretty intense here. We have multiple fights all breaking out. Alliance is literally in the middle of a sandwich here. They do manage to send one back. The Rev Octane push has been an absolute nightmare for them to handle. Alliance is getting picked on from every which angle. I'm not really sure how they're going to hold this, if they're going to hold it, or what angle they're going to get on. Because the Beavers have gone out in the last round, unfortunately. So it looks like that fight looks like it has wrapped up for now. And luckily, Shiv's roster has managed to get a res and recover from everything that's happening. So Aqualix is still at a standstill with 789, and they're just kind of chilling and vibing right now. 789, Alliance are literally right next to each other, as well as Aqualix. They're all within the general vicinity here on the south side of the map, and this is going to pull here. My prediction is that this is going to pull towards this angle here. I've seen this happen several times already, and I wonder if it's going to pull there.
I've got eyes on one of them over there.
see who the current kill leader of the lobby is. We got 4 total kills from HLDC. And they do have a long rotation in. They're not going to run into anybody for a hot minute. They took out a few teams while we were casting and commentating on the one fight that was taking place for Fire Beavers and everything. So it was a madhouse. It was absolutely crazy. Remember, there is a 5-minute delay. All streams have 5-minute delays. But that's definitely been an interesting fight, seeing Kick against solo queue goats. We've seen this happen before where you have these beefs, these 50-50s, but it doesn't just cost one team, it costs both the teams, especially if they lose any points of momentum. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because if you lose any sort of person or anybody in your roster, that's just the one less person that you're going to have for an overall push. Is not necessarily what you need. Now, they're all the teams that are rotating on the various sides of the map, so it's just a matter of who's going to fight what next. Scars does have an opportunity to push inside this building, so we'll see. And Scars does want them out. Are they going to make a push in? Are they going to wait? There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Only a little bit of time before they can actually do something here. Tension is rising. The zone is about to close. Lots of teams that are standstill. Literally, when the zone closes, this is going to be the hard part, ladies and gentlemen. Scars could push in this building. That's 1. 2. 789 and 789 also fights Aqualix. That's 2 fights. We could see a fight happen in the Oscars over with Shiv's team by the time they rotate in. Will they get gated? That's 3. We also have the potential fight between, well, it's about to happen right now, FB versus the team in this building. So we have potential 4 fights about to start. And I actually have no idea which one is going to actually break out first. The zone is closing. It's closing now. Now, the zone doesn't have any pressure here. We have everyone just kind of like, they're holding. Everyone's literally about to fight. We got 4 potential fights, ladies and gentlemen, that are going to break out. And we have over here a Poor Alliance over here has a complete sandwich. Complete sandwich made with ham, eggs, and cheese. It's a croissant for anybody who's French out there. So the zone closes, like I mentioned, still. With Shiv's team, they could get rotated on, and there's HLCD, who are the kill leaders of the lobby. They could break into a fight. So this is going to be a little bit of RNG of who we're going to be able to capture here and what's going to happen. There's just going to be a non-stop mayhem here. Non-stop. And it's about to occur here, especially with the next zone, unless individuals decide to make a push and make a play. I mean, look at Scars as they start to breach. They're starting to breach. They're starting to get, you know, a little confident. They're like, okay, can we push this? Can we get inside? We need this. And where's the next zone going to pull? And here we go. This is where stuff starts to happen. The next zone is here, and decisions have to be made. They have to be made. It's inevitable at this point. Switch over to solo queue goats. Looks like they're okay. They're not going to actually get into a fight. They're not going to get 30. They're going to wait. They're going to play this patiently. They definitely need placement points, and they can get it if they wait. Aqualix is still at a standstill inside with 789. They're back and forth with each other. And Aqualix, just in case people have asked, is Yuki, Serdell, and Ganask. Apologies if mispronouncing his name. Of course, Third Impact is getting into a firefight, and here we go. This is where Scars is looking for. While Third Impact is getting into a fight, are they going to commit? Are you going to commit? Is this going to commit? No? Are we not doing this? Okay, so we're going back to Third Impact, who just got a nice Peacekeeper shot there. I know the hot seat is on Scars because they're a first-place team. Like I said, I mean, this is an unfortunate part that happens, and we do have NCD also breaking out into a firefight here as well. Waiting for the positioning here, waiting for it all to take place. What's going to happen? And there they go. They're pushing. They're making the play here. Getting a little bit of damage in. Tries to fry him at a distance of the Volt. That recoil control is pretty solid. But it really depended on the angle there. They did manage to take out the door. Let's see if he managed to connect some G7 shots. He does. He gets the 64 damage in, but has taken about 64 damage himself. This is probably the most recent firefight. No other fights are taking place right now, but they're about to. We got 27 seconds in mayhem. We're going to go from about 17 squads down to like 12 or 11. I promise you, that's going to happen right now. Everyone has just been at a really rough point right now, and there's constant fighting happening. 12 seconds. Aqualix is in pretty good spot. Scars can still just kind of chill. Dead Inside is still within the building. DMNK making a push in to T1 or TI here. Third impact. Can they fight for this? There's a lot of teams about to fight right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is about to get really intense. Like, I know FB just went down. They're fighting for their dear life in the building. Just as we predicted, this fight was going to break out. It was inevitable. Let's see if Gibraltar can clutch this out. And he did, luckily, and they're going to recover. But they get thirded by Alliance. Alliance has decided not to become the sandwich, and now they're fighting. But now Shiv's team is rotated right on top of them. And they're going to have to push right into Alliance. So Shiv's roster, Solo Cute Goats versus Alliance, and Aqualix is holding still and holding steady. Alliance is going to wait them out. Here they go. They need to move in. They do actually hold, so it looks like they're not going to engage there. We have Insiders on the height. In the heights. Get some solid shots there. Let's switch over to NCD, who broke into a gunfight. They made a push in. They have an angle here. This is absolute chaos, ladies and gentlemen. It's just nonstop. HLCD, who were the kill leaders of the lobby, they have total of 5 kills. Let's stay on these guys. Let's see how they're going to push this out. They managed to clutch out some fights before. They're cleaning up house. They're now getting caught out of position. They have a minute 18 before they need to rotate in, and now they decide not to fight anymore. They decide to rotate and keep it clean. They do have DNMK here, causing them a headache, though. Is that from T-Rex? Does T-Rex have another Kraber in play? Let's take a look at T-Rex's POV. So yeah, it looks like T-Rex has another Kraber in play. They did manage to get a knock. We'll hold on to this and see if... They've gotten many Krabers. This is the second Kraber that they have gotten. It looks like Kick is getting into a pretty solid firefight as well. There's utter chaos in the lobby right now. Manages to get a knock. There's the Kraber play that we're looking for. 320 damage on the Gibraltar. But is it going to be enough? He's got to go back and recover his teammate. Tries to shoot. Imagine if he nailed that. That would have been the shot of a century. They're rotating in. Here's the fight. Does manage to get 123 damage in onto the Gibraltar. Needs to recover. He throws a Gibraltar ult just to get this team to back off from them. This is actually Shiv's roster. Let's take a look at their POV. Sorry about that. I managed to misclick the wrong number. Shiv's trying to rotate out, taking a lot of damage from the Gibraltar ult. And now they're deciding to back off. So they have backed off, but unfortunately this team has said, no, we don't care if you're backing off. We're going to fight you. And Diff is the only one left remaining, while Alliance is also in a firefight with 789. Let's see if Solo Q Goats manages to get away, and then we got to switch POVs to the other fight that's literally breaking out, and there it goes. That fight is gone. Aqualix is in a fight. Alliance is holding on for dear life. They're literally holding on for dear life. Tries to fly around, not to get hit, and unfortunately does go down, and 789 manages to recover against them. What a fight, and what a massacre. T-Rex is rotating in. We have non-stop fights breaking out. Let's take a look at Aqualix because they're our next big team that's in. Let's see if Scars is in. They are looking pretty good. Let's switch back over to Aqualix. We'll switch between Aqualix here as well as Scars because they're our top 2 contending teams right now, and they're going to push on this. Sir Dell is going to make us proud. How much damage is he going to be able to get? Tries to track the Wraith who is moving, and they do knock out Insider. So solid plays on their part. Scar has an opposite angle and is actually pulling where I mentioned it was. Look at this. Look at this circle. It's pulling exactly what I mentioned. So pretty solid plays. Let's take a look at Scar's POV. So Scar's about to laser this guy as soon as he come out, and they do. And we do have Aqualix, 2 top teams right now, fighting for positioning. We do need to keep an eye on T-Rex, and Aqualix is getting into a firefight here. Managed to knock one. Now we have a 2v2 situation. This looks like it's... They do manage to clean it up. Aqualix can only hold it down with gas and try to recover this, and they do go down, unfortunately. Scars has managed to clean this up. We do need to take a look at... Let's see if T-Rex is still in the lobby. T-Rex is in the lobby, and they have a lot of kills to their name. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on T-Rex as well as Scars. Okay, these are our 2 teams. 2 teams, ladies and gentlemen. Scars and T-Rex. Just because T-Rex has been absolutely on fire. Especially with the Kraber. Do they still have enough Kraber ammo? Okay, they are getting us intel. You can see the team that's located above, and they are down below right now. And they have a pretty hard rotation in. They dropped the Kraber. They no longer have the Kraber in play. It looks like they ran out of ammo. On the opposite spectrum, okay, there it goes. They're making the push up. Got to make this fast. Limited time. There's a thermite to cut off their back end, so in case they run, there's a bubble to push in. Make this a clean fight. So far, all three alive. 3v2. Looking pretty solid. And there's the mop-up. T-Rex, again, proving that dinosaurs belong in this universe. The asteroid didn't kill them. Not yet, at least, but the zone might as they start to feel the pressure. You have a total of 7 kills that we saw there. Scar's currently in a firefight as well. About to get rotated on by the T-Rex. Stopping. Last round about to come in clutch here. T-Rex holding the angle. Scar's about to go down, but 4th place is not a bad place for them. They managed to hold it together. 3rd Impact is alive, as well as T-Rex. And let's take a look at the last team alive is underrated. Let's keep a hold on T-Rex. T-Rex has 7 kills in lobby. This is a great game for them, by the way. Phenomenal game. Should be very proud of their performance and how they're playing. It's getting real close, guys. The zone is closing. They have this T-Rex has the hardest rotation in. They're low on resources too. Not only that, 7 total kills. Looking pretty sharp. Looking clean. Looking squeaky clean. They call him the Mr. Clean of Apex. Trying to find an angle. Trying to get some shots in. But I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Which team is going to come out on top? Is it going to be our infamous dinosaurs? It's the Land Before Time up on Apex Legends right now. Where's Littlefoot? And there's Sarah. Who's going to make a play? Who's going to make a push? Can they get the coveted tree star? And there's a response. They do have the bubble, but they do want to hold it as much as possible. So they're going to dodge this. They're going to dodge this. They don't necessarily have to pop bubble here. They're actually okay. We're keeping an eye on the Octane here because he's going to be the one that's going to make a play. They need the other 2 teams to engage before they do. Gets shot a little bit. Does he have a bat? He does. Luckily, they're on the opposite end of this, and they do not have to worry about getting caught out and just lasered. They're holding it together. The scans are out. You see where all the teams are out. The zone is closing. Got a minute and 13 seconds before this round does end. It's inevitable. It's going to end. Octane is just looking to heal up. Is he going to pump his stim? When is he going to pump his stim? They do have an angle. It gets about 50 damage on the Bloodhound. Just a little bit. Holding it together. The bubble is down. And there it is. This is T-Rex's game. The Land Before Time. Can they get their tree star? I'm rooting for you. Where's Littlefoot? And they have disengaged from this, but they can't get too greedy. Don't get all the tree stars, only get a few of them. And there it is. There's a cleanup. It's handed over to T-Rex. Huge game for T-Rex. A massive number of kills. This is going to shoot them high up on the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. High up. What a game. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. T-Rex should be very proud of their performance. They had kill leader. They had all the momentum in the world there. They waited for the right opportunity to mop up and clean up on aisle 3. Once the scoreboard is updated, we'll break everything down. Don't forget to leave a like and show your support in the stream because every little bit helps support what we do here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back again Thursday. We're going to be back again casting this. This has been an absolute blast. Hopefully you enjoy everything that you saw. Let's take a look at T-Rex's. Look at that. That's a 12 plus, whew, man, plus another 12. That's a 36 kill point right there. Wait, 26. My math. T-Rex before was sitting at 9th place. This is going to boost him right up. This is going to be a monumental game for them. So I'm excited to see once this gets updated where they sit. And once they do, we'll break it all down and we'll talk about the first few teams. Scars should keep it together holding first place, but listen, T-Rex is not far behind after that round. That was a massive game. They should be very proud of their performance. Everyone should be. Listen, there's only day 1. There's a lot to change, a lot still underway. So in just a moment, we'll wrap up. And again, I appreciate all of you guys for watching, for being a part. It's been an absolute blast, and this is only day 1. Day 2 will be coming Thursday, same time, 1 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday. And after that, once all the top 20 teams are picked, it'll be up to the main stage for Play Apex to commentate and cast. I hope you enjoyed your stay with me. I really, really do. It means a whole lot that all of you guys hung out and had a full discussion. We broke everything down for you guys immediately. Once the stream ends, I'll be sure to make it into a VOD, and I'll timestamp all of the games. So if you missed anything, go right back and watch it. Go watch and catch up with all the scoreboard and everything that's going on. Because, I mean, there was a heck of a lot to unpack here. It was an intense day. It literally was. This was a crazy day. I have learned myself a lot, especially about Apex Legends Europe. I know it's been fun. I've definitely enjoyed it. It's been a really good time. Okay. So let's switch over to the scoreboard in just a moment. We'll break everything down and we'll wrap up. Okay, just waiting for a few more teams to update. Who are you guys rooting for? Was there anything that upset you in terms of performance? What was the thought process for you guys? What changes would you like to see? Did you like seeing Loba in comp? Did you like the fact that you saw teams playing aggro? I know Kick and Solo Q Goats were definitely at it. Are we happy about that? Are we happy that they were consistently fighting? What about T-Rex and the fact that they kept absolutely decimating with the Kraber? What about when Shiv popped off with the Kraber today? Listen, the Kraber was a consistent playmaker today, and I've seen it happen before, but this was definitely next level. Okay, the last run has been updated. Let's break all that scoreboard down, ladies and gentlemen. So Scars, I just need one more update. I thought it was fully updated. We're still missing one more, huh? Okay, it's not updated. We still need T-Rexes to update, so give it another second. And once it's updated, we will break it down and we'll talk about everything that you see. Okay. But a big day, ladies and gentlemen, a big day, and I appreciate all of you guys for being a part. All right, in just a moment, we'll see that score. Also, a thought. When we come back Thursday, do you think teams are also going to change up their rosters in terms of like the legends they pick? Do you think we won't see a Loba? I hope that the team Fire Beavers stays consistent on Loba. I know they're in 4th place overall. I mean, it's going to change in just a moment, but they had a really good performance. I know that the only game they didn't do well was last one where they got knocked out in 19th place. I had to say that was probably the only one where we saw a massive difference, you know? All right, let's see here. Be sure to type all of you guys in chat. Just know that I appreciate all of you guys. Also very fitting that we're playing, you know, that Loba background music, right? All right, let's see here. Almost all updated. Let's give a shout out to everyone in chat. Yami, I'm good to have you here. Amogus, the Diesel, I appreciate you guys. And no, I appreciate all you guys have been amazing. You guys have been great. Lazy boy, appreciate you for being here, buddy. Dinosaurs really showed up. Really showed up. They really did, and Scars really performed quite well. Raph, thank you so much for being here, buddy. Let's see here. I caught up with all you guys in chat. I appreciate it, the fact that all of you guys have been here. All right, let's see here. There we go. Let's talk about that scoreboard. Let's break it down for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. All right. So we do have Scars in first place with 75 total points. We have Aquilus in second place with 66 points. And look at this. T-Rex, the underdogs of today, have definitely popped off. And thank you so much, by the way, for becoming an AIM trainer. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. I'll type in chat to thank you in just a moment after we break down these scores. Let's recap. Scars, 75 points in first place for day one. Second place, Aquilix, 66 points. T-Rex, 55 points. Third place. Fourth place is Kick at 53 points. 5th place, Fire Beavers. This is a Loba squad, 41 points. 6th place, 789, 41 total points. UR, 39 points, 7th place. Alliance, this is kind of surprising with Alliance, 34 points, 8th place. TD, Top Dogs, 34 points, 9th place. Solo Cute Goats, 33 points. This is Shiv's roster with Diff and his squad, 33 points. And then we also have, be sure to zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. All right, let's take a look. Zoom in a little bit on that. 11th place, Dead Inside, 27 points. TI, 27 points, 12th place. 13th place, NCD, 27 points. SCBS, 21 points, 14th place. 15th place, Maestro. Apologies for mispronouncing your name. I'll have to get clarity on that. 20 points. 16th place, DNMK, 18 points. 17th place, HLDC, 16 points. FB at 13 points. And Morningstars at 9 points. And INS at 7 points at 20th place. So, very big day for day one overall. And seeing teams really come out of nowhere. I want to thank you guys all so much for being a part of the cast. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. I really, really do appreciate all of you guys for being a part. Seriously. Even the feedback, we will make adjustments. I'll look back at the VOD. I'll make sure to continue to keep the vibes going. This is my first time doing Europe in a hot second. Last time I did Europe was probably like a month or two. I'm so used to APAC North, and I know a lot of the teams. I know a lot of these teams as well, but it's interesting to see them play at this high level. And I watch the tournaments, but it's different casting. It's different seeing where teams play. And hopefully you saw in the narrative and the journey of everything you're seeing really starts to play out and feel a lot different. So again, I appreciate all of you guys for being a part. We'll be sure to capture the action here. I'll turn this into a VOD. I'll make sure to mark all the games so you see it right away. I'll put it in the description. I'll make sure that it's above, and I'll put it in the comment as well. So again, thank you guys all so much for watching and for being a part, and just join me on the journey for the ALGS Championship for Europe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.